Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Tired of your furnace running overtime this winter? Let Heartland of Nebraska Windows save the day. Upgrade to stunning, energy-saving triple-pane vinyl windows installed by their team of experts. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty on everything, all for a price you can actually afford. Free estimates, flawless replacements, and peace of mind from a family-owned business you can trust. Don't wait. Call Heartland of Nebraska Windows at 402-430-3852 or visit heartlandofnebraskawindows.com today.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Hey, this is Jay Foreman, the host of Old School, 3 to 6 p.m. here at 93.7 The Ticket. And one of my favorite things to do is come down and meet all the fans before and after as they cheer on our beloved Huskers.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey guys, Nick Standard here. Join me live from Arlington, Texas, this Friday through Sunday as 93.7 The Ticket covers Husker baseball's appearance in the Amagi Bank College Baseball Series. I'll have pregame and postgame videos on the Ticket social media pages, as well as commentary throughout Friday's 3 p.m. game versus Louisville, Saturday's 7 p.m. game against Kansas State, and Sunday's 2:30 p.m. game against Florida State. Our coverage from Arlington is sponsored by Diode Technologies, Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, and Chick-fil-A South Point Pavilions.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Hour one of Old School is sponsored by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes, it is. Welcome in a Thirsty Thursday edition of Old School. Austin Orman and Jay Foreman with you, 3 to 6 here, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. It's cold. It's gray. It's not snowing quite as much, at least down here at the 1040 O Street. But Jay Foreman, glad you made it in. How you doing, my friend?
It's chilly outside. It's brisk, baby. But other than that, I'm doing good.
Feeling 22? A little older than 22? A little younger than 22? How you feeling today?
Yeah, I had my 30th birthday yesterday. It's all
Congratulations.
good. Yeah. I'm feeling it, it's all good.
Just another day?
Yeah, just another day. I ain't came to terms with it yet, though.
30 is a big milestone.
I know, man. It's just crazy. I can't believe it. But
I'm just a few years behind you. I'm catching you.
You got a lot more years. Enjoy.
I'm just saying, get to 30.
Enjoy your years. It is what it is, man.
Let me just say, it was very notable to both Nick Stannert and I that even on your day off, you decided to stop in and see us both.
Yeah.
You couldn't go a day without us. It was very nice to see you on your birthday and actually get to tell you in person.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And you got your present. You got to see us.
I know that was it. That's my goal every day.
Mission accomplished.
That's right.
402-464-5685. Be a part of the show. Big thanks to Graham Tire Company. They're celebrating 75 years of serving the Midwest. They're more than just tires. They do all kinds of car and light truck repairs, too. From brakes to oil changes, trust Graham Tire for service you can count on. Graham Tire, getting you to the places that matter most. Just a couple days away from the official beginning of spring football. Nebraska will kick off practice coming up on Saturday. So, Jay, a lot of intrigue around Matt Rhule. Mentioned he had a press conference today, and we'll play some cuts from that coming up here in the first segment. We'll go over it, offense here, defense in a little, or defense here, offense coming up in a little bit as well. Well, Jay, first and foremost, first time in a while we've heard from Matt Rhule. No, signing day presser, even though Nebraska had a little bit of intrigue out there. It's been, since the early signing day, a really quiet offseason around here. Now that the void has been filled, the gap has been filled by the success of the basketball teams, wrestling doing its thing as well. But what do you make of it? It's been, a month and a half or so since we've heard from Matt Rhule. Do you think that's the right thing for this program? Just how the schedule falls? Something, nothing?
Well, I mean, you just played New Year's Eve. And so it's really been like 6 weeks. There's nothing really to talk about except signing day, transfer portal guys as well. I don't think it. I mean, it is what it is. I think the schedule and moving up spring is probably on par. And when you're trying to build a team and you obviously have a brand new quarterback or quarterbacks, and new staff members, a lot of turnover, obviously with Eckler and obviously Braden leaving and obviously Donovan leaving as well. You got to hunker down a little bit. So I just took it as, look, they were just getting to work and trying to figure out the staff, figure out the team, get your chemistry, try to work on chemistry. I'm sure that, obviously, they're way into winter conditioning. So, I think people are used to it, obviously hearing from them all the time, probably complain that you heard it from them too much. And now you're not hearing from them. I want to say people are complaining. They're like, oh, why aren't you talking? So I think it's the schedule and plus the circumstances, which obviously just late, with, Josh Martin going to Texas, you didn't have a special teams coach. Now you have kind of Brett, who's going to be the special teams coach. Got Humphrey, special teams coach in waiting. There's a lot of just like turnover. It's so you got to really, that's your main focus, not, hey, we're in winter conditioning. I don't really have anything to say, so I got to start talking, just let him do his thing.
It makes sense to me. One of the headlines, Jay, Nebraska moving to afternoon practices coming up in the spring and the fall. Something, nothing notable just because it's a change?
Oh, well, yeah, that's news to me. So that's going to affect me some.
Well, there you have it.
I've always practiced in the afternoon. I like practice. I'm a fan of practicing in the afternoon. I feel like, you can get up, you can get a lift in, you can kind of get hydrated, you can kind of start to think about practice and kind of make it, a bigger deal. I think a lot of teams do practice in the afternoon, at least people I know. So I think I don't know if I imagine the major work days are going to be there. And then as you get closer to the game, because if you practice at 2:30 on Friday, they're kind of like walk-through thing or whatever. Yeah. Well, then you play at like 11. So I'm sure the major practices will be in the afternoon. I like it, kind of lets them. I think also you got to give him credit. Whether it was, his thought process or not, is when you're, people always look at change as like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, okay, well, maybe he was like, okay, I don't know. He came across information or he really thought like this team might need more time to get ready to practice. And what I mean by that is, you got a new quarterback. You're going to have a new quarterback, right?
Not new to college football, but new to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you ain't got nobody there that's like proven. You just replaced your franchise quarterback. or whatever not replaced or whatever he left. Okay. So you're going to have a new voice in that whole room, meaning that whole football program. New person, new face, or faces.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you lost your main offensive threat to eventually the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Right. Then you lost your steady Eddie senior receiver, even though the numbers weren't great, but he's gone. Then you lost some few alignment. Whether you thought they were good or not, you lost all that. Then you lost one of your captains in Sierra Wright. Then you lost Javen Wright, who was pretty consistent at times. Then you lost some defensive linemen. Then you lost some other DBs. So the reason why you need more time to get ready to practice is that practice is going to be so important because you're going to have to be able to try to walk through, walk through, and then kind of group work. So that's going to be so important.
With the first-time Power 4 DC, with a new offensive line
so
coach,
you got a whole new
everything.
defense, and now you got a whole new offense and a whole new special team. So you need to make sure everything's set up for these players to have a successful and confidence coming out of practice, and be able to practice at the rate rate of speed and physicality that you need as well. So I like it. I don't know if that's his thought process.
Well, I mean, Matt Rhule didn't explain much about it, but he did say is when he looked at the college football playoff participants, most of the northern teams did afternoon practices. And that's where Nebraska would fall in. And okay, that's fine if that's part of your rationale. I think you're onto something. I think that's great for Matt Rhule to say. But Jay, I just can't wait for this to become an excuse. I hope it doesn't, but
oh, you mean like if you don't do well?
Well, I can totally see, Nebraska, stumbling over its own feet, tripping up in an 11 a.m. game. Why don't you guys play well? What was up? Well, we were so used to the morning practices, and that really helped us with these early kickoffs. But now that we practice later, it's just harder for our guys to get up and get going. Is that a routine, out of rhythm for them? So credit them for fighting through it. But you know what? We struggled at 11 because we moved practices. We didn't have this issue before, but now we do. We got to manage it. If you're a good team, you're a good team.
Yeah.
You show up and you play. And I hope that it doesn't become an excuse, but that's kind of where I'm at with this football program is that you're right? Change and switching something up isn't always a sign that, you're just throwing something against the wall and hoping that it works. I'm willing to believe and give Matt Rhule and his staff the benefit of the doubt that there are legitimate reasons to make this shift. I don't personally care when they practice. Do what's best for you and get your work done when you get your work done. But if I hear the late practices or the afternoon practices become an excuse for why Nebraska didn't play well in an 11 a.m. game, or, why Nebraska starts slow, I'm going to lose my mind because it shouldn't matter when you play or when you practice. But this program has just gotten me to a point where I almost expect to hear the change in practice time blamed for some shortcoming at some point this year.
Yeah, hopefully, that shouldn't be it, man, because first of all, he's thinking about every scenario.
Yeah.
That's how you get to this conclusion. You just don't roll out of bed. Oh man, you know what? Let's just do it because somebody else. You're thinking about so
my kid's car broke down. I got to take him to school, so
right.
I need afternoon practice.
Right. So
not
I'm
what
gonna give him you got to give him some, give him some grace or whatever you want to call it. That is thought process. And a lot of these excuses. Now, granted, I'd be mad if the players start using it as an excuse. The coaches won't use it as an excuse because you change practices for them to be better in the game. And when you play a game, it don't matter when you play. I don't know what player originally started that. Like there was a player that originally started that. Like where they and everybody has an optimal time to play. Sure. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to play whenever you want to.
Right.
Football is not circumstantial.
That $75 million check keeps playing. You will play when the Big Ten tells you you're playing.
You're getting NIL money. You're playing.
Yeah.
So I mean, there'll be people up there because there's so many people that cover the team and they're always looking for reasons that why things don't work. And when they don't work, everybody's going to go and try to, find tooth comb and try to find out the reasons why when actually you just ain't play good or you got beat. That won't be an excuse. There's no more excuses.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to, I don't think, and he's not going to allow them to do it either. And so if that's ever out there, it's by probably a young media member or somebody that's trying to get clicks, that's trying to start a firestorm. and it's probably not right.
2312 says, Austin, why do you jump to that conclusion? 3576, who do you think is going to use that as a reason? I don't know.
Just
right?
say D's. Got you.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. You thought you were going to get me. But Dixon is not around today, so I'm not to be got in that. Why do I jump to that conclusion? Am I the only jaded, Husker fan here? Like, we've heard this stuff before, from not just this coaching staff, but other coaching staffs is, yeah, maybe I'm jaded. Maybe I need to give them more of the benefit of the doubt. And again, I don't care when they practice, but you can't tell me it's beyond the pale for me to, throw out there that it could be used as an excuse, because we've heard other changes made, into excuses or reasons why, this happened or necessarily didn't happen. So I'm not rooting for it. I'm not hoping for it. I'm just not going to be surprised when we do hear it. Tom says, what college student in general enjoys getting up at the crack of dawn so they can have some extreme physical exertion shortly thereafter?
The ones that get paid.
Ones that are getting paid. I would also say, Jay, that was a concerted effort on Nebraska's staff, at least the previous administration, to get the guys to class, right? If you're already up and moving, there's no excuse for you to miss class. But again, it's practice. It's your job. You're in school. Well, you're in football, right? When you practice, there's no reason you should miss it whenever practice is, right? You practice when coach tells you to practice. Know how much time it takes you, to eat whatever you're going to eat, get taped up, get dressed, get ready, get warmed up, get loose, do your lift like you're talking about, whether that's before practice, if it's in the afternoon, maybe after practice in some cases, if it's a morning practice before class. So yeah, the ones that, enjoy getting up to do that stuff are the ones that love football. And that's, Jay, another thing that I don't know if we'll be able to tell through spring football, but every team anywhere could always use more guys that love football, the way it's meant to be played, enjoy football for what it is, and understand the big picture around the game. I want to see Nebraska develop some more of that and develop some more edge.
Yeah, they, really what it's going to take is going to take a bunch of men.
Grown men.
Yeah.
Grow up fast.
And they got to go through the process. They got to welcome the challenges. They got to go through the dog days of summer. They got to go through hard practices, and they can't wilter. They can't change. They can't, passively or indirectly quit or kind of like the woe is me. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard.
Because it has to be.
Because it has to be, and it's going to be.
And it just is.
It is.
And it's
it is what it is. It's football.
Mm-hmm.
So you need more football players. You need more guys like that. So sure, to Tom's but what is your, Tom, I would ask you this, and this is not me going back and forth, but I am going to challenge you. Okay, what's your idea of how, why are these questions? Why are you? Is this ever a point? That shouldn't what college kid? Okay, I would ask you, what college kid wouldn't love to get up and play a sport that they are highly compensated for? Right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about on the low end, you're getting a scholarship, Husker bucks, living on those apartments over there. Okay, and then most of them are getting I think at the bottom, you're getting $40,000
a living wage.
Yeah, and that's if you're not playing.
Yeah.
So what college kid wouldn't give their right arm for that?
Yeah.
What college kid wouldn't like to have that facility over there? What college kid wouldn't like to have that the cafeteria or whatever, right? To where they are probably feeding you to make sure that you are performing at your optimum. It's scientifically proven. And if it doesn't work out for you, with everybody else's regiment, they will probably find a way to find one that works out for you. So they're eliminating all the excuses.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just
show up and do it. That's all they're asking you to do.
Let's go get busy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it can't be on Saturday. It's got to be every single day. And
it can't start this coming Saturday.
Right. Well, the afternoon practice is just the first step. And you got to keep putting the stacking days. Some days are going to be better than others, but you have to have the right intention, and you got to be a man, and you got to grow up, and you got to accept the responsibility. And it's not about pointing fingers, and it's not going to be easy. Are you going to get beat some days? Sure. But you got to bounce back. And sure, the coaches got to be there to kind of coach you and stuff. But, for a young kid, dude, you guys are 18 to 22 years old, or 18 to 24. Let's just say if you kind of dipped around college for 6 years, you ain't tired. You just uncomfortable.
And there's a difference.
And you really don't know what it's like to be uncomfortable. You really don't have any pressure. I'm not trying to hear. You don't know what pressure is. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Because this isn't pressure. Pressure is a privilege. And the way that you alleviate the pressure, because pressure is like, people, I think they use these words like too freely.
Kind of lost the plot with them.
Yeah. Because, and sure, if you're losing and all this and the fans are on that, okay, yeah, that's pressure. Okay, that's probably more like remorse, like, especially if you haven't played well, right?
Right.
Pressure is not what they're feeling. It's standard. It's a mixed in with expectations, or expectations into standard. And then that's where you need the discipline. So that's what alleviates or lessens the so-called pressure. When you play a big game, that's not pressure. That's anxiety. And it's a good one, because you want to win.
Yeah.
That means you want to get busy and you don't want to lose, because you put a lot into it. You're investing in it. I want to win. I want to win for myself. I want to win for my teammates. I want to win for university and the fans. That's good. You know, nervousness, that's good. Pressure is, you know, you got to walk in the Hampton Inn and you got to sell them $1 million contract for insurance, or you're fired. That's pressure. That means when you walk from this side of O Street to another, that your destiny is directly tied to 15 minutes sitting in front of the general manager over there.
As soon as you walk in those sliding doors,
you better be on.
Okay.
You got, it's a coin flip. That's pressure.
Yeah.
Pressure is you're down to your last $100 and you gotta, you know, double down or whatever, and you're playing blackjack. Or you don't eat.
Or you call 20 of your millionaire friends and you buy the Houston Texans.
And I remember when Mr. McNair told me about it. I was like, bro, you don't know what pressure. You got some really good. First of all, I want your friends, okay? And I want your friends to trust me as much as your friends trust you. And I want to deal with your pressure. I like to deal with your pressure. So it's there. There's another question here with the testosterone. It's generally for males, it's in the morning.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But here's why I'm going to do this real quick. This is why I like afternoon practice. Because the build up to practice. Okay, you wake up, you know, you can get in a routine, you can have your school schedule done early, or, you know, whatever. Yeah. Then you can find a way to get your lift in. You can go watch extra tape, but you're constantly thinking about practice.
Because it's coming up.
Yeah, because it's coming up. It's the same practice that you have in the morning, but you think the build up. Because what kids can do sometimes, and this is not really with this coaching staff, I felt like, because I think Coach Rhule has always kind of like he never went too early. But the previous coaching staff, practice was extremely early in the morning. Okay. Well, what happens in that situation, right? When you're practicing at like 8:15, like you're really already into practice, you got 90% of your guys just surviving because they can't get fully hydrated. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So by the time, and then they don't really kick in to that last 2 or 3 periods of practice because they're in survival mode for 75% of the practice. They've never really done it like that, or Matt hasn't done it like that. And I like when he's pushing it back to the afternoon. And I don't know when, you know, how many days a week it's going to be, but the build up to practice can, in my mind, I just remember walking around, going to econ, accounting or whatever, always knowing I'm in class, I got practice. Right?
Yeah.
So when you kick off at 2:30 and you're going through your walkthroughs or whatever, it's already just a natural habit. So I like it, afternoon practices.
I'm no scientist at all, but I would also think that there's something to the ability to have your practice playing with you in the morning, right? Wake up, look at your iPad. Okay, this is what I got to get ready for. Here's what went well for me last night. You have a night to sleep on it, night to chew on it. You get up in the morning. Okay, how can I attack this problem?
Yeah.
Now that you're distracted in class because you're present in the moment. But also, I think if you practice in the morning sometimes, Jay, it's out of sight, out of mind, because it's football. Then you go to class and you're supposed to focus on that. Yeah. And then maybe you come back in the afternoons for lift or meeting. I like the buildup because you can, kind of start problem solving maybe a little bit in your mind. Hey, here's what got me yesterday. Here's how I have to be better at it today. Yeah. And I feel like that too, with the hydration, the eating, the getting into it, it gives yourself some more time to maybe think creatively about, hey, what can I do? What are my advantages that I can leverage? What do I have to work around my personal disadvantages? And be thinking about what you need to get better at all day, as opposed to Oh crap! I hit snooze on my alarm 3 times. I got to get up and take a scooter all the way across
Now I'm
campus
late to
just
practice.
to make it.
Now I'm backpedaling. I'm not playing offense. I'm like in a defensive mentality before I even start practice.
Mhm.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And also, like, if you have any questions before practice, or if you need to go in and holler at a coach and say, I'm confused on this, and I know we have practice or walkthrough or meetings or whatever at whatever time.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time for that. Versus like 6 a.m. It's hard to kind of, get it together. And also, I think you can get a lot of your work done. I was a big, and then it can, I'm going to tell you this before we go to break. If any of these players have any inclination to play in the pros, okay, if their excuse is we're practicing too late in the afternoon, well, you ain't playing in the pros because that's what practice is. Because you meet, you walk through, you meet, you walk through, you lift, you eat, walk through again, and then you practice.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the last thing you do in the NFL generally, and then obviously when you're meeting later, it's on like groups.
Yeah.
The last thing that you do is practice. The first thing you do in the morning is rehab, lift, eat, meet again, walk through, so-called break, right? Hydrate, whatever, lift, meet, walk through, get ready for practice, walk through again, practice.
Get after it.
Yeah. So, and then later on the week, it's condensed. On a Friday or Saturday, you're out of there, early afternoon, day before the game, depending on if you're traveling or not. It's, that's what they'll probably be at. But the afternoon practice would be good. Worried about it a little bit. Sleep. I would want, if you didn't have a good practice, I want you to think about it.
Yeah.
I wanted to settle in. I want to see how you react. And I want you to fix it the next day. Not the next morning. I want you to think about it during the day.
Right. And then prove it in the afternoon.
Yeah. We'll get through this together.
Plenty more on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Tom, Disc Golf Jake will get to you. We got the injury report. Who is missing spring ball? We'll go through that rundown from Matt Rhule. Plenty more on Old School, hour one of which brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. They're based in Hallam, Nebraska. They offer free estimates, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything while keeping their prices affordable. They're locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today. You can do that at 402-430-3852. You can also visit them online, heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Mr. Afternoon Practice, Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Norman. More Old School after this.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish top-shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen and Stein Stamina, and more. Bach beer will be flowing, and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $10 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, we want to wish you joy, success, and good health in 2026. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie. And by the way, that was well said.
Andy, I know you want to kick off 2026 with a bang. What's going on at the dealership?
We got a lot going on here, Charlie. We have incredible savings on every new remaining 2025, New Year savings on every new 2026, special low long-term financing, and special lease rates. The biggest news is we have more than 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from.
How about pre-owned?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas right now with prices starting at under $10,000, and we have special low rates.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Looking for something fun tonight? Axe throwing, local beer, and great vibes are waiting at Arbor Axe House. From casual nights out to celebrations and team events, it all starts here. Reserve a lane today at arbораxe.com. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get ready, Lincoln. It's a huge weekend at the Icebox. The Lincoln Stars are back home Friday and Saturday taking on their conference rival Fargo Force in a critical push in the playoffs. Both nights, enjoy $8 vodka Red Bulls while you cheer on the Stars as they battle for postseason positioning. Saturday's game is being presented by Eagle Raceway, so expect even more high-octane excitement. The puck drops at 7 o'clock on Friday and 6 o'clock on Saturday. Don't miss your chance to be part of the push for the playoff energy. Secure your seats now at LincolnStars.com and be there when it matters most.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your weekend forecast for today, a chance of snow and blowing snow. It'll be windy and colder, a high of 41. Tonight, a chance of snow, any breeze, low around 18. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze, an afternoon high near 33. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School. Austin Norman and Jay Foreman with you for another 2.5 hours here on 93.7 The Ticket. Let's head to our starter Heyman Jewelers text line here. Tom, appreciate everything you're saying. Cubsker says they think morning practice should be emphasized the weeks of 11 a.m. kickoffs. If they can get up for that, then it shouldn't be a problem on Saturday. I kind of get the thought process, Jay, but also you probably shouldn't be changing your practice schedule around that dramatically, right? I mean, get guys into a rhythm and a routine, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can fudge with practice based on the game time. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it has some flexibility, and you really worry about the game time when you get closer to the game.
Sure.
Beginning of the week is just a heavy work week, and so like when we played in the NFL, times we were playing, whether we were playing out in like a Seattle or a West Coast game, that's what we wanted to kind of get your body acclimated, or a night game. We'd change the schedule. Now, granted, we were professionals, we didn't have school,
right? But you had families and kids, and all sorts. Yeah.
But I think you can work some stuff around that. They'll think of every scenario. I mean, I think that they don't, I don't think that they sit around and be like, oh, flip a coin. But I think when you have 11 a.m. game, you want to make sure your rest and recovery is on point to be at your maximum come, in this case, Saturday at 11 a.m.
Disc golf, Jake, and pressure builds resilience. We need more of that in Nebraska athletics and in society.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think the standard just needs to be higher. The pressure is kind of manufactured around yourself. Like, sure, when you're getting ready for a national championship game, there is pressure because it's winner take all. But but I like that though.
But it's the good kind of pressure.
Oh yeah, let's get it on. And I was fortunate enough to be on the right side of it all the time. But sometimes you play in big games and you lose. You learn from it more hopefully than losing, and then you figure out a way to win the next time. So I think the standard just needs to be upheld and be welcomed. That's the big thing. And the players need to embrace it. Can't moan about it. Don't talk about like you gotta I don't want to hear about the 90s. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear that crap anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I ain't playing ever again. And I don't want to. I miss the competition. I do not want to physically go play anymore.
Like you said, it's not fun.
And I don't need you to, and I would never ask a player or like compare a player. I'm very confident in who I was as a player, who I am as a person. And I want you guys to be good too. So, I was happen to be part of a championship run, but I want you to have the same thing. But there is a way that there is only one way how it's done, and it ain't never going to change.
Right.
So instead of running away from it, run to it, embrace it, and then deal with the process. But you don't think about the process after you win. And it's not necessarily, sure, if you don't win a national championship, then you can't say, well, it wasn't worth it. But if you maximize your opportunity, you don't ever look back and say, man, putting in extra hours every single week or every single day wasn't worth it when you get the payoff, whatever that is.
Whatever it looks like.
Yeah.
And I'll add this on top of that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Nebraska's not winning the national championship this year. Just a guess. But that doesn't mean if they don't win a national championship, their process is completely wrong. They got to start all over. You can take steps in the right direction. You can have the right process. You've said it all the time. You become a champion long before you actually win the championship.
And look, they had a big, obviously a tangible step when they made the first bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
The good and bad thing about last year is they still made a step or whatever steps forward. It just isn't as many as it should have been, could have been, and what everybody wanted it to be.
Nebraska tippy-toed up to that gap.
So it doesn't mean it was you kind of didn't take advantage of a great opportunity, but you did some things that are better. Now you have to understand, where that gray area was, and you got to remedy that. Now you have new staff. You have all three phases that are essentially new. Obviously, I know Dana's been here. I understand that, but he has a different quarterback, a different offensive line, so that can change how you run your offense, right? And you got some different players, which that's always going to be. So that's actually not even an excuse. Now you have a new defensive scheme, a new identity, a new way they probably recruit defensive players, because his idea of what he views in his system is probably different than Butler's. And then you have a new special teams coach after you just had a new special teams coach the year before. And so you have you got all that going on, but that's what the spring and, summer is for.
I do want to get to the list of injured guys, Jay, that Matt Rhule ran through, because there's a number of notable names. Demetrius Bell, guy that was playing really well in spring a couple of years ago, tore his ACL in the spring game. Hasn't really been heard from since. Gibson Pyle is a young guy. I thought could have challenged for playing time this year. Interesting names. Janarin Bonner out, still working his way back from injury. The names, though, that really stood out to me, Jay, I think there's three of them. Gunnar Gatula, kind of a swing guy in that offensive line. You look at Rex Guthrie, a young guy who got a taste of starting last year. I think this was going to be a big spring for him and taking that next step of consistency.
Is he out?
Out. This is all spring. So Gatula out all spring, Guthrie out all spring. The other one, Dawson Merritt. That's a guy we've talked about quite a bit as a linebacker in a room where there's, I think, some opportunity, especially for those two in Guthrie and Merritt on the defensive side of the ball. Young guys trying to establish themselves and get more playing time. I hate that they're missing spring. I don't love it for Gatula, but he's older. He's dealt with it before. I think he'll be able to be fine and work his way back in. But, man, if you're looking at Rex Guthrie to take a next step or Dawson Merritt to jump into that rotation, not that they can't do it anymore, but missing an entire spring ball of physical reps to, put yourself out there on the map like that, I think that's a blow for those two guys.
Yeah, I think with Gunner, he probably wanted to compete for a spot, but it's best to be healthy. He's shown the ability to kind of make some improvements. Now you got to find a spot to where he's going to be the most effective with Coach Wade, right? So you kind of feel in offensive lines, look, the size is the biggest thing. Yeah. The big kid, he just needs to get strong and all this other stuff. So you don't want to kind of continue to have an issue because you participated in 15 practices.
Right.
So that's smart to do that. Now the other two is tricky because I think it's exactly what you said, but I think it's different.
Okay.
Here's where I think it's different. Let's do a Guthrie, right? It's a huge spring for him because he actually had to. He would have to prove the competition's thick.
Yeah.
Okay. They brought in old buddy McDougal from San Diego State, so he's locked in. They got another safety, I think, as well in the transfer portal. That's a veteran, and then they got you got Caleb Benning, you got the one kid that jumped in the portal and jumped out, who athletically is better than all of them.
Yeah.
Right. Or just just looking at when he walks around, he's like 6'4", 200. He's if he gets it together,
watch out.
He's right. So and then now you're not there, and you had some issues late in the season tackling all. Now, granted, you were a freshman, so those are issues that you can deal with.
But you'd like to deal with them in spring.
But Caleb Benning was coming, and there's other guys that I'm missing, right? And then you got Khan, who plays nickel, that can play safety, right?
Right.
So you got all those guys you're not able to get.
Buford in the same way.
Buford,
yeah,
right.
Younger one.
So you got all those guys trying to prove themselves. Now, granted, he'll get a fair shot, and he does do some good things to.
They like
good
him
enough to where they like him. Dawson Merritt's different because I don't know what was wrong. I think it's his ankle or something like that. Okay, he moves different than anybody in there.
Yeah,
still to this day, even with the dudes in the transfer portal. So when the tape turns on, and I think he's number 40.
Yeah.
He just looks a little different. Now, that's the Mr. T starter kit. But to double down on it though, his football acumen and his in how he plays as a young kid is on that same level.
Almost like he's a coach's kid.
Because he is a coach, and he's been in this type of environment before. So all the biggest thing for him is to get healthy. He needs to get bigger. He needs to get stronger. The knowledge of the game is there. So you get what I'm saying? So his transition back into that competition
should be smooth.
Pretty quick, right? And, he's a 4 or 5 star recruit. He gives you tons of position flexibility.
Yeah.
So I think that it's 3 different guys right there, but they are big names. But then also that's what the spring is for. And maybe since it's moved up, and also they're able to do more on the field stuff. So I don't know if they're practiced or whatever, but so you're kind of in the year-round competition,
right?
And he's a smart. They're all smart kids.
They sure are. Other guys waiting to get cleared: Jake Peters and Tyson Terry along the lines. I think Tyson Terry, Jay, is playing on the defensive line. He had the ACL injury that he wrestled through, won a state championship. Just beast mode stuff there. That's a guy that, as a young guy coming off the injury he had, for a defensive line in flux, people have attached the, next Nash Hutmaker to him with the wrestling background and similar size and build. That's one I think is going to be really interesting to watch as a local product that, might not have been the highest recruited guy, but the offers he got were some pretty decent ones. And Nebraska was kind of fortunate to be able to keep him home. I'm curious to see if he can get healthy and contribute at all in spring.
Yeah, I think, he probably was, participating in practice a little bit late. So I think they're going to slowly but surely just see what he can handle. But I think I think he's probably at or close to 300 pounds. So, obviously size on the defensive line, is what what you need. Now, granted, he hasn't played meaningful football in quite some time, so the spring is huge for him, technique wise, right? With a new defensive line coach is going to be huge, and so I think you're going to see him really come on maybe later in the spring, and then obviously, who knows? He might come out there and start, kicking butt right from the get go. But I think once he starts to get in his rhythm and starts to play, you're going to start to hear more about, health. As long as he's healthy, you're going to start hearing more about, Tyson Terry, because he got a lot in the wrestling background, helps him tremendously.
Big time.
Yeah.
Hear about that a lot. Hour one of Old School brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. All sorts of great stuff going on. Maybe it's a little drafty in your house with the snow and the wind going on outside our windows. We don't feel it. We don't feel it at your house as well if you call Heartland of Nebraska Windows, 402-430-3852. You can also visit online, heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. One more segment here for hour one. Maybe play a couple cuts from Matt Rhule to close out the hour. Plenty more from Nebraska Spring Ball, Husker Hoops as well throughout the course of the show.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tired of your furnace running overtime this winter? Let Heartland of Nebraska Windows save the day. Upgrade to stunning, energy-saving triple-pane vinyl windows installed by their team of experts. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty on everything, all for a price you can actually afford. Free estimates, flawless replacements, and peace of mind from a family-owned business you can trust. Don't wait. Call Heartland of Nebraska Windows at 402-430-3852 or visit heartlandofnebraskawindows.com today.
Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Diode Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Diode Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diode Tech online at diodetech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
Geode Health is now open in Lincoln, bringing high-quality mental health care to the community. Located downtown near Lincoln Central Business District, this is Geode's first location in Nebraska and part of a growing national footprint. Now welcoming patients to work with Dr. Eric Curry, board-certified outpatient psychiatrist specializing in adult mental health care, including treatment for ADHD, anxiety, depression, mood disorders, medication management, and more. Geode is also growing in its Lincoln Care Team, with opportunities for therapists interested in collaborative, patient-centered care. Appointments available now. Visit geodehealth.com. That's GEODE health.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Get ready, Lincoln. It's a huge weekend at the Icebox. The Lincoln Stars are back home Friday and Saturday taking on their conference rival Fargo Force in a critical push in the playoffs. Both nights, enjoy $8 vodka Red Bulls while you cheer on the Stars as they battle for postseason positioning. Saturday's game is being presented by Eagle Raceway, so expect even more high-octane excitement. The puck drops at 7 o'clock on Friday and 6 o'clock on Saturday. Don't miss your chance to be part of the push for the playoff energy. Secure your seats now at LincolnStars.com and be there when it matters most.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Planet Fitness has everything you need anytime the motivation hits, so you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late-night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, we want to wish you joy, success, and good health in 2026. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie. And by the way, that was well said.
Andy, I know you want to kick off 2026 with a bang. What's going on at the dealership?
We got a lot going on here, Charlie. We have incredible savings on every new remaining 2025, New Year savings on every new 2026, special low long-term financing, and special lease rates. The biggest news is we have more than 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from.
How about pre-owned?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas right now, with prices starting at under $10,000, and we have special low rates.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in, Austin Norman and Jay Foreman with you, putting a bow on hour one of Old School. 402-464-5685. Taking your comments on Nebraska spring football practice. It's is this spring in Buffalo too, Jay?
It is. This is a Buffalo. This is a this is child's play out here when you're in Buffalo.
Oh, I mean, Nebraska's seen worse, but
you ain't ready to Buffalo. Austin, you are
Lake
not
effect,
ready.
baby.
You ain't ready for Buffalo. This is a everyday occurrence.
Nebraska men's basketball could end up in Buffalo, Jay.
I'm going.
I kind of want it to happen. You know, maybe I'd get some, maybe someone. I don't know who would go.
Nick,
but
I'm going. You guys can do whatever you want. You guys can go up there and take your pictures. I'm going straight to the Anchor Bar.
Oh, okay.
I'm back. The Prince is back, baby. They've been
the
calling
prodigal
for
son is returned.
Hey, holla at a play when you see me in the street.
I won't be hard to miss.
I'm going right. Hey, Big Tree Inn. Do you
not 4 Point Sheridan?
I'll be. That's exactly where I'm gonna stay at. They got a nice little Italian restaurant. Then I'm gonna knock on the Big Tree Inn and see if they still have my chair there. That little spot.
Yeah, the Jay Foreman chair.
Yeah.
Like a church, you had your pew, but Big Tree Inn had the Jay Foreman chair.
Multiple guys had there. I had a small chair. Bruce and Andre and Jim Kelly and them, they had the VIP room. The peasants were out there with the regular folk. They had a little. They were like in a room back there where the producer thing is. We were out here for what we were getting the fellowship going.
The commoners.
Yeah, it's all good. I liked it though.
5162 says the roads are dangerously slick, so take care out there.
But you know what? Before we get there, you know what? I was prepared.
You were
Ram
prepared?
Tire came through like a champion,
like they do.
So right now,
yeah,
I'm gonna be blowing through them streets. Yeah.
Oh, because Graham
low,
Tire.
Yeah, 4-wheel high, and I'm going. Yeah, I'm just riding dirty through there. So I'm excited to drive home.
Do people in Buffalo put the chains on their tires?
Yeah,
they do. Yeah.
Oh yeah, some of them.
Do they do like the tennis racket snowshoes up there at all?
I'm sure there are places up there they are, but you see the snow tires on them.
Yeah.
Those big trucks. Yeah, the people. There's no cars like you see out there like that.
You tell me my four-door sedan wouldn't make it in Buffalo, New York?
Yeah, there's people that drive them, but you ain't making them up. You ain't. No, in West Seneca, no, those places you ain't get. You ain't happening.
Are they good at taking care of the roads? Like, are they
Excellent.
practiced enough that they know how to keep them
Excellent.
clean even through all the crap?
Excellent. Now they will shut down the throughway, and you'll have, like one time we got to practice too late. You couldn't go home.
Shoot.
You had to stay at a hotel, but yeah, they got plenty of equipment and they work around the clock. So big shout out to them. Shout out to people in Lincoln too.
Yeah, Thomas in Lincoln says he's out in Syracuse. Heard about 2 accidents. Jason Baird says 4-wheel drive doesn't help you slow down, Jay.
I drive aggressive in the snow. I grew up in this.
It was one of those like Bane and
I took
Bane
my
moments.
driver's lesson. I took my driver's test in the snow.
You merely adopted the snow. I was born in it, molded by it.
That's right.
Full
What they
Bane
say,
style.
when you play with monsters, you got to become a monster.
Jay Foreman became a monster.
Yeah, that's right.
Not a monster. Kevin Meyer, Myers Cork and Bottle. Monster deals going on. Kevin's going to warm us up. Thirsty Thursdays next.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Get ready, Lincoln. It's a huge weekend at the Icebox. The Lincoln Stars are back home Friday and Saturday taking on their conference rival Fargo Force in a critical push in the playoffs. Both nights, enjoy $8 vodka Red Bulls while you cheer on the Stars as they battle for postseason positioning. Saturday's game is being presented by Eagle Raceway, so expect even more high-octane excitement. The puck drops at 7 o'clock on Friday and 6 o'clock on Saturday. Don't miss your chance to be part of the push for the playoff energy. Secure your seats now at LincolnStars.com and be there when it matters most.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Hey guys, Nick Sainert here. Join me live from Arlington, Texas, this Friday through Sunday as 93.7 The Ticket covers Husker baseball's appearance in the Amagi Bay College Baseball Series. I'll have pregame and postgame videos on the Ticket social media pages, as well as commentary throughout Friday's 3 p.m. game versus Louisville, Saturday's 7 p.m. game against Kansas State, and Sunday's 2:30 p.m. game against Florida State. Our coverage from Arlington is sponsored by Diode Technologies, Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, and Chick-fil-A South Point Pavilions.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen and Stein Stamina, and more. Bach beer will be flowing, and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $10 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
There's no such thing as a 10, but that was probably a 9.
That was really good. Kristen Clean.
Gentlemen.
Kevin Meyer, Meyer's Cork and Bottle. And look what the cat dragged in. You can't see him on stream because the camera doesn't zoom out far enough.
We got
Early
a special
break.
guest in the studio. We got Jake.
Hello.
To my left.
Gentlemen, this is my third time on the airwaves today. Early break, I helped Nick out for a segment on the drive, and third time's a charm. I can sit next to Jay Foreman, Kevin Meyer, Austin Orman. I am blessed to be
Jake,
here.
Let me get you a drink.
Thank you,
And only on one of
bartender
these shows
Jay.
have you gotten to drink.
That's true.
This is true. And but not your third Thirsty Thursday. You've had plenty more.
Oh, I've had
that.
many of those, Kevin. I'm not a newbie to this by any means.
So Jake was relaying a really cool story, in my opinion, off the air.
Yeah.
And it had something to do with Valentine's Day. And it also had something to do with Meyer's Cork and Bottle. Jake, would you like to tell
I'd love
the listeners?
to. I was about to head home today, and I saw Kevin. So I got to tell Kevin the story from this weekend, and so now I'm here to tell on the air. I, of course, went to the men's basketball game against Northwestern on Saturday at the win for the Huskers. If you know, Jay, that was Valentine's Day.
It was.
That was Valentine's Day. And my wife stayed home and watched our daughter during the game. I already got her flowers the day before. I said, but you know what? I probably owe her a nice bottle of wine. And she was actually at a birthday party for our daughter down south. So I said, all right, go from the game down south. I'll go see our friends at Meyer's Cork and Bottle. And I'm proud to say, I think the salesperson there, I don't know who it was, said I was probably the easiest sale in the history of the world. I parked outside of Meyer's, and I was back in my car with a bottle of wine in 2 minutes because I said, I want a cab. He's like, how about this one right here? I said, that's in the price range. Let's roll. And that's the service you get at Meyer's every time. I've never had bad service there. I mean, Kevin himself is great, but his staff is phenomenal. And
well, true. If you ever
2
do
minutes.
get bad service there, you better let me know.
Oh, I will.
Roll.
I'll report.
No, this is Jake. That's a great story. It makes me feel good because, it's something that you strive for every day. And sometimes you fall short in life. Sometimes, you have you accomplished some goals, and so that made me feel good that we were able to take care of you and your wife on Valentine's Day, and we appreciate your business.
The bottle was gone before the night was over, and because it was that good. I couldn't contain myself, and neither could she on it. It was delightful.
We better watch it. There might be,
How's at the house?
Baby Jake #2 on the way.
Well, it was a great bottle of wine, Kev. I forgot what it was called. I know it's in
code for something.
It was a
Go
great
ahead, Big
bottle,
Daddy Jake.
and I will ask for it for again, same one. It's
Do you
delightful.
remember the name of the wine?
I just said I don't know what it was called. I don't know what it was
I
called.
didn't hear that part.
It was a good bottle, though.
Jake, I can tell you, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So let's get you a case of that, and you got to keep going to that well as many times as it works.
Yeah,
Amen to that.
You know you're going to need that bottle of wine because you seem like you get in trouble a lot.
You read me very well, Jay.
See? So
You read very-
hey, look,
You know what? And wine
it's a great apology.
Wine usually does the trick,
Yeah,
too. That's a good apology. I'll stick with that.
What do you guys want to do first? Let's do the beer first.
Beer first. Get
All
started
right.
up better. What we got?
So from our good friends at Kincaid Brewing, but this is their German beer house, what's called Beer House Maischoller. And this is their Munich style Dunkel lager. And the word Dunkel means dark.
Yeah.
And so it's a dark lager, and they call it the Bear. Not really sure why they call it the Bear, but
Brown like a grizzly bear.
brown like a grizzly bear, little bit of roasting of the malts, but it's still a lager. So it's going to be cold fermented. It takes a long time to make that beer. It takes usually anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks to make a good lager, and takes a little bit more of a attention to detail because there's less in the beer in terms of hops or adjuncts or weird things that you can add to cover up mistakes. With this type of beer, it's brewed under what's called the German purity law, which means that you can only use hops, water, grain, and yeast, and that's it. You can't do anything else to manipulate your beer. But in this case, they do roast the malts a little bit, giving it that darker color.
Perfect for a blustery, snowy day outside. Slightly more of a
I like
campfire
this.
feel.
It's not
Nice.
heavy.
No.
Oh, it's good.
It tastes lighter than it looks.
Yep.
Yes.
You get a little bit of that roastiness,
But not
And-
too heavy.
but not heavy. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you could drink this on a hot day.
Oh, yeah.
This would be
I like
a
this.
great golf course beer.
You would get some funny looks because people would say, that's pretty dark. What are you doing? But then, like, here, try a sip. And like, oh, I see why you're drinking it now.
This would be the kind of beer, you know how you find the zone and you want to stay in the zone. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know that feeling, Kevin.
It's a difficult
I know where
window
you're
to
at.
stay in. It's a difficult window to stay in. And so this would be a great zone beer because you wouldn't get too deep. You'd pace yourself. You'd stay right in that window and you'd go low, I'm assuming. Right.
It's tasty. I could have a lot of these ones, Kevin. I'd be very responsible, of course, in doing so. But if I was in a safe spot, I could have many.
This one would allow you not to crash the golf cart.
Flow
You
state.
could have 9 of these and be good.
You heard Jay Foreman say it himself.
Every 2 holes.
I will not be having 9 on the golf course.
4.5 on the front, 4.5, no, 4 on the front, 4 on the back, 1 after the round is over.
And you'll be fine. Yeah. I like it's light though.
It's good.
Yeah. And it's not too
The
heavy.
bear.
I like it because it's not too heavy.
We do need, Kevin, a statement from you. Willing spring into existence. What happened? Why is it snowing outside?
I blame myself. We did such a good job of willing springing to existence, and it worked. And I feel like maybe I took the foot off the gas last week with the darker stuff to go with chocolate and whatnot. And
But it was still thematic.
It was thematic, but the weather gods went you slept and here you go. Now you're going to pay. So my apologies, Lincoln. We're gonna get spring willed back into existence right quick.
Indeed, we are. Kevin Meyer, Myers Cork and Bottle, in here with us. We raise a glass to the United States women's hockey team. They come back. They defeat the neighbors to the north, Canada, in the gold medal game in overtime, 2-1. So
Nice.
USA, play Freebird, all that good stuff. What are we drinking for wine to celebrate, Kev?
This is called Shatter, which can happen when the puck hits the glass sometimes, right?
There we go.
This is a French wine, but it is a collaboration of an American wine producer named Joel Gott and a French wine producer named Beeler. And the name of the winery is Beeler and Phils, which is like Beeler and Family or Beeler and Sons. They are in southern France. And this is a grape called Grenache, which basically originates in southeastern France, a place called the Rhone Valley. But this one is just west of that. right above Provence, and it's sort of a New World style from an Old World area. And we just got it in today. We've had it in the past, but this is the first time that it was actually a collab like this. So we're going to give it a try. I'm trying it for the first time, just like you guys are. So give it a shot and let me know what you think.
Well, we love making history on the show.
I like this.
That's
sharp.
nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. It is sharp, man. Definitely sharp.
Good with some
Good sharp.
with some pork chops.
Is it called shatter? You said
Shatter. Yeah.
Like a sharp piece
I
of
can see the
glass.
cork says shatter on it. Yeah. Got
Yeah,
it.
you know,
I can see
like
that, Jay. I
the
can read.
Rolling Stones song, should do be. Shatter, shatter.
There we go.
Right?
There we go.
Nice.
For those of you
That's Jake's song of the day tomorrow.
Pork
Kev.
chop.
Could be. It could be.
Do you eat pork, Jake?
I do.
You a bone-in guy, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
it's
gotta
like.
go look at that guy.
I had pork tenderloin last night, actually. It was good. Yeah, last night I had that with some wine.
Look
Just
at you go,
following it up
Jake.
here. I know.
I'm just really proud.
Prepared for today.
I'm proud on so many levels right now.
Thank you.
What do you think about this one, Kev? Give us the professional
I dig
opinion
it.
first.
It starts off a little bit bright. It's got a little bit of that sort of light cherry note, but it's sort of less fruity, I think, because it's French. And I'm getting a little bit of some sort of like maybe some herbal type, maybe a little bit of peppery spice, but I'm thinking almost like like a little bit of a sagey quality. But gosh, it's really, really good. It's different. It's unlike other stuff that we've had recently, and I'm glad, because that's why I wanted to bring it in, because we don't usually do a lot of Grenache.
Yeah. That's nice. Okay, I do want to ask you about the collab part. It's not, hey, use some of our grapes, make it. When winemakers collaborate, what does that look like?
You know, that's a great question.
Is it, hey, come try this, tell me what you think, get an outside perspective, maybe?
Yeah, or it's sort of let's let our worlds collide, I think, is probably more the goal. So like I said, it's a new world style from an old world area. And when I say that, what I mean is when you drink a new world wine like a California or a Washington State or an Oregon or even an Australian or an Argentinian, they like for you to taste more of the fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you get those black cherry, plum, red cherry notes, or even like in a, say a different style of wine, maybe like a white, you get more some apple or, things of that nature. Well, in old world wines, they like you to taste more what they call the terroir, which is essentially the terrain or the soils and the basically the composition of what those grapes grew in. To them, that's the wine's identity. So they want that to come forward. And so, basically, especially in an old world wine and old vine wine, and Grenache is one of the few grape types that will continue to produce wine quality fruit when the vines exceed 100 years old. Every sedimentary layer that those roots penetrate, it picks up each one of those components. And so you might start off in shale, and then you get into granite, and then you get into whatever mineral it is, or just diatomaceous earth, or whatever the case may be. And so it picks up each one of those components, and they have a term for it, and they actually put it on the bottle, and they call it blood from a stone. And essentially, basically the concept is that the harder the vine has to work in order to survive, the more precious the fruit it bears. And so hence the term blood from a stone.
That's deep. That's kind of metal. Blood
Very
from
good.
a stone. What parts of the new world can you tell from this wine? Right, we've done some French in the last few weeks, but what part of the new world from the collab are you really getting?
I'm getting more of that sort of brighter red fruit up front than you would out of a typical old world French wine. But then you kind of get it follows up, like I say, I get a little bit of that sort of sagey herbalness on the back end, and a little bit of that minerality. So I think, goal accomplished. It really does taste like a hybrid of new and old, to me anyway.
And is that why it's not a long aftertaste? I can taste the minerals, but not like some of the other ones. You know what I'm saying?
Bye, Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
Drinking and dashing, Jake.
I think the finish Yeah, it is kind of a little bit of a quick finish.
Right.
It's not as lingering as some. And I imagine the longer this would be open, the more that finish is going to come around. So that is one difference between an old world and a new world wine, is that we also make our wines to be more ready to drink. So essentially that makes them less ageable, right? But they're also more approachable at a younger age. And so the French wines or your Italian, your Spanish, like I say, your old world European stuff, they have more patience than we do. And so they make wines in a style that is meant to have more longevity. It's meant to sit in a cellar for 10 years.
Age like a fine wine.
Age like a fine wine, as the saying goes. And so I think that also means that it also needs a little bit more breathing time when you drink it when it's young. And so I imagine the longer this is open, or I could even give it a little bit of a shake and we could re-pour and the wine would completely change because of that oxidation. And that to me is an indicator of the wine's quality, that it's slow to mature. Then it's just great from the get-go, and then shows all of his best movies up front.
Right. So those old world ones that are sitting in a wine cellar, what's going on in the bottle? Like it seems like it's just sitting there from the outside. What is actually aging like a fine wine in the bottle?
So there's a couple of things happening. There's micro-oxidation, which basically means that there's a very, very slight amount of oxygen in the bottle. Slight, not enough to turn the wine, but enough that it's evolving. Number two, when a wine is young, especially an old world wine, it is pretty tannic. And tannins are the sort of the wine's bite. It's essentially its skeletal structure, and it comes from the grape skins. And then what's also more prolific on the skin is what's called the pip, which is where the stem meets the fruit. And that's a really high concentration, or that has a really high concentration of tannins. It also comes a little bit from the barrel, but that's what makes a wine ageable. It's a natural preservative. And so what happens on a young wine where it's kind of bitey up front, or needs time to breathe, a wine, as it ages, those tannins integrate more throughout the body of the wine, and it softens, and those tannins become more even instead of more up front. And essentially that's why you would age a wine in a nutshell.
So then on the flip side of that, for some of these new world American ones, what's like the oldest that you want to drink at?
Well, that's a great question. It really varies wine to wine. And it also depends, storage conditions make a big difference.
Say run of the mill average wine cellar, you have your old world stuff aging like you were just talking about.
Sure.
But you go out and you buy let's say you buy a 2024 right now in 2026.
2024, just a California Appalachian cab, $20, something like that. I would say it should have 10 years from the vintage date without too much trouble. I would say the peak window would probably be between 4 and 6 years of the actual vintage.
So if we buy a 2024, you're saying let it sit till about 28?
If you can, you don't necessarily have to, but I'm saying that's going to be the window from when you buy it. It may not be at its best. If you let it rest for a year or two, that's really where it's going to hit that bell curve. And the idea is that an old world wine is going to have a longer aging bell curve than a new world wine will essentially, where that bell curve becomes more steep and sharp.
Do winemakers build in some of that time, like when they're making the wine, when they're producing it? Like, is it intended to sit, or do they know that people are going to get it, crack it open, and that's going to be that?
It depends where it comes from, but I believe if I'm a Bordeaux producer, it's intended to sit. If I'm a California producer, maybe not as long, maybe not as much, but it depends on what I'm making. If I'm making a wine that's meant to hit the shelf at $15-20 and clear out, then I'm making that wine in a style that's ready to go. If it's a wine that's hitting the shelf at $100-150, that wine needs to have more depth, more complexity, more longevity. And so I'm making it in that style. And again, the barrel aging and things like that all make a difference: quality, size, etc.
And where can people find these wines of different vintages, Kevin?
Myers Cork and Bottle, of course.
Bang.
13th and South. Look for the neon.
You can see it through the snow.
You can see it through the snow.
There you go. Stop by on your way home. It's worth the trip, right? It's safe. Parking lot will be fine, right? Stop in.
Perfect night. Wine night tonight.
Might not be a 2-minute trip like Jake Sorensen made.
Take your time, look around.
Peruse.
There's lots to see. There's lots to label shop. I think we've got over 1,000 wines on the floor in stock all the time. So, but if you're in a hurry and you need that quick wine for a quick date, you can get in, get out, and park right in front of the door.
There you go. 13th and South. Kevin Meyer, Myers Cork and Bottle. Good as always to see you, Uncle Kev. Have a good rest of your week.
Thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate you.
We'll be back. More Old School after this.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Just got the brakes fixed on my car today.
You did? You haven't even left the office.
I didn't need to. I got a guy who picks up my car and drops it off when it's done.
Well, who's your guy?
Graham Tire. They have pickup and delivery service at all 5 of their Lincoln locations.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Planet Fitness has everything you need anytime the motivation hits, so you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late-night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Get ready, Lincoln. It's a huge weekend at the Icebox. The Lincoln Stars are back home Friday and Saturday taking on their conference rival Fargo Force in a critical push in the playoffs. Both nights, enjoy $8 vodka Red Bulls while you cheer on the Stars as they battle for postseason positioning. Saturday's game is being presented by Eagle Raceway, so expect even more high-octane excitement. The puck drops at 7 o'clock on Friday and 6 o'clock on Saturday. Don't miss your chance to be part of the push for the playoff energy. Secure your seats now at LincolnStars.com and be there when it matters most.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion, for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of snow and blowing snow. Be windy and colder, a high of 41. Tonight, a chance of snow, any breeze, low around 18. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze, an afternoon high near 33. I'm meteorologist Kyle Electric for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big thanks to Kevin Meyer, Myers Cork and Bottle, stopping in as always for Thursday here on The Ticket. Appreciate Uncle Kev. You can go say hi to him and his staff down there, like you said, at 13th and South. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman with you. This is Old School, brought to you by Graham Tire Company. Jay, let's talk some Nebraska men's basketball here in this segment. Get to today off. They'll have their practice tomorrow before Penn State comes to town over the weekend. Not a very good Penn State team by record, Jay. They've certainly earned their way down to the bottom of the Big Ten standings. But, of course, every team will make it to the Big Ten men's basketball tournament this year, so Penn State will get their appearance coming up here in just under a month. But Nebraska, Jay, now losers of 4 of their last 6 after dropping a 5-point decision to Iowa on Tuesday night. We knew things were going to stiffen up, get a little tougher once Nebraska reached Big Ten play. That's absolutely happened. Nebraska isn't the first team to go through a rough patch, right? Wisconsin, Illinois started conference playoff a little rough. They figured it out. Michigan State had its own moment. They busted out of it in a big way with the overtime win against Illinois and then a big win over UCLA. So, struggling in conference play isn't new, especially in a conference like the Big Ten. But Jay, being, at these games, watching this team as much as I have, it just feels like something is missing from the beginning of the year. And to me, it's the edge. Yeah. The swagger might be the better way. It's not the effort. They're still playing hard. Yeah. They're not going through the motions. They're not, just coasting and off reputation at all. I don't think that's what it is. But Jay, I think this is a Nebraska team that's in need of a big, dominating start-to-finish performance, almost like being pissed off at Penn State for daring to come play at Pinnacle Bank Arena, right? If Nebraska wins, that's the main thing, however it looks like. But I think that this team is just missing that extra little pep in its step, or its extra little, hey, we're the big bad, bully on the block. We're going to, shove you in a locker. We're going to take your lunch money. We're going to, eat your seconds at lunch. Which I know Nebraska is nice and respectful. Maybe that's not the best analogy, but you get what I'm trying to say. It just seems like this team has kind of lost that winning feeling. And I think a big dominating win here in the next week or so would go a long way to helping Nebraska get that edge and that swagger back and play like the top 15 team it's been pretty much, the entire calendar year.
Yeah, I think it's, you want to, obviously the win is the most important thing, but you want to make sure aesthetically it's pleasing. And also, I think it's like, not to get all philosophical, but it's more like a spiritual type of thing. Like you're talking about, something's off. You might have to, come to have a team meeting and put a couple guys in check. Mm. Things like this happen when people start feeling themselves. Me and you talked off air about the young man down in Kansas, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to do because there's a lot at stake, both individually and collectively. But they have to be 50-50. And then when you're in that 150%, whether it's a team or your individual stuff, you have to be 100% invested. So, that could be it. Also, they have to make sure and understand, look, later in the year, teams are going to get away with trying to be physical with you. You got to match force with force. It's a compliment, but it's also part of the process of being a good team.
Yeah.
So this is what you wanted. This is actually what you've earned.
Mhm.
So just because it's getting a little rough, that means you have to go back and understand. And sure, people are gonna get used to your offense later in the year. And you had circumstances kind of derailed that. Obviously, Rink being sick, and obviously Frager being a little jammed up. But then also, you got to find a way to be as effective as you were before. And if it's a mentality thing, then that's where, amongst your brothers or your teammates, that's where you got to really start challenging each other. You got more time on your hand. You got more people patting you on the back. You can lose your edge a little bit. You might have to push some buttons, because the buttons that you push right now will pay off, tenfold. Big Ten tournament, NCAA tournament, because like I talked about with football, what you do now to remedy whatever the issues are, or just kind of get better at what you need to get better at. When you reach some goals and exceed expectations in a month or two or whenever that is, you won't even think about it.
Right.
So they'll get back to work. They'll come out against Penn State, play better. I'm sure they were highly frustrated and disappointed in the way that they played against Iowa, as they should be. Maybe even a little embarrassed a little bit, and you'll get back against them, but you're not you can't worry about them until you deal with or Penn State, excuse me, and you got to deal with Penn State accordingly.
Yeah,
and you got to send a message against these dudes.
And here's the thing: you're playing Penn State, but you're not sending the message to them. They're just the opponent. You're sending the message to the rest of the conference, more than Penn State specifically.
And what it does is it lets the rest of the Big Ten know that you guys aren't no punks.
Yeah.
Because if you get in a game and you play the Penn State game kind of like you did Northwestern, where it was too tight, instead for the last 10 minutes, then they're like, oh, they're lost their steam. We've caught up to them. We understand what they're doing. You got to come out and pound these dudes. And you got to make a point. And you might have to play your starters a little bit longer than you normally would, but it's going to pay off down the road. And I'm sure they'll come out focused in what they need to do. I'm sure that they're all highly motivated coming off that loss at Iowa. The way that they looked, the way that they weren't able to score points and play offense, and looked like, a team that, should be reckoned with. They're going to come out to, have a point to prove.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think it's interesting too, because I don't want to be one of those people that judges Nebraska's edge, swagger, confidence just based off wins and losses. I know Jay Billis did his Billis index and ranked the top 68 teams. He had Nebraska at number 10 and said his one issue with this team more than anything was confidence. Someone made you bleed your own blood, as the saying would go. Sometimes you get a little shell-shocked by it. And I think Nebraska, is a mature group, is a veteran group. And Jay, the only reason that I question some of that swagger and some of that edge is, is Nebraska trying to aim the ball in? Are they trying too hard? Did they get tight all of a sudden? And that's easy to ask when, they lose 4 or 6, they lose the high profile games and don't look as good as fans had gotten used to maybe in beating the lesser competition. Because even with all that said, I question the edge just because of the way Nebraska responded or sometimes didn't at Iowa. And we've seen this with men's sports across the spectrum, really. I still have issues with Nebraska baseball not always getting up for Creighton the same way Creighton gets up for Nebraska.
Sure.
Minnesota thinks that that's a rivalry. They revel in beating Nebraska. To Nebraska, it's just another game in football. And I'm just waiting for the Nebraska men's team that says, no, we take this one personally. And I think Iowa would have been the perfect example for it, right? I mean, Fred's gone on the road and won in Creighton. Sure, maybe there's a little more red in the building there. But Fred playing at Iowa State, Fred losing 4 in a row in that rivalry. I know he's Mr. Even Keel. I know he's Mr. Never Too High, Never Too Low. But Jay, I think a big part of emotional maturity is knowing when it's okay to flip that switch, right? And start towing that line. And maybe that's as simple as, hey, Braden Frager's not himself. He's the guy that normally would do that for us, because Sam Hoiberg plays hard. Is Sam, mad at Iowa for existing? Is Sam mad at Iowa because they're his dad's, old college rival? I don't know. I think Sam's a good dude, but does he get pissed off like that just because he gets the chance to? Is that Rink masked? I don't think so. Is that DeMarcus Lawrence? I don't necessarily think so. I want to see Nebraska, this men's basketball team, start pushing that envelope, not in a chippy, cheap shot, dirty sort of way, but you've talked about it all the time. Find that motivation.
Yeah.
Find that thing, that little extra bit. And obviously it's discipline, right? Because you have to stay steady over the course of the long season. But I want Nebraska to take this Iowa loss personally, and I want it to burn. I want it to hurt. I want it to sting that, you gave a team their first ranked win in 2 years. You're this coach's first ranked win. I want Nebraska to take it personally in as much as it makes everyone do a little bit more. It makes everyone, give that extra 3% to get through a screen or take one step quicker on defense, whatever it is, because we've seen this team play like it before. I just haven't seen it consistently over really the last month.
Yeah, and you've seen it in small spurts, but this is time to step up. You might have to meet with guys individually, kind of dig in and see what's going on, and also give them a little dose of reality. Like, it was great, anybody can, like I always say, people can talk. A lot of guys talk junk when you're up 6 to 10 points.
Right.
But what are you going to do when it's even, or when it's even score, or you're down by 6 to 10 points? How much confidence do you really have in your ability to be a great player and a great team, which is obviously the most important thing. So you got to dig a little deeper and see what's there. It's probably something small that, is kind of getting in their way. And also to understand that, like saying you want to be great is one thing. And then actually going out there and doing it is another thing, which they have. Well, I wouldn't say great, but a really good team, right? Great year so far. But the thing people never talk about is the willingness to accept the expectations, the ramifications if you don't play to that standard, the daily standard, the selflessness that you need in order to continue along the process of being a good to great team, or a good team that's having a great year, a historical year potentially for Nebraska. As this thing goes on, and when you're at whatever it was, 18, 19 and 0 and hadn't lost yet, that's what's going to test you. This is the process that I talked about in a different process that Nebraska is going through, football versus basketball. You're here, you've exceeded expectations. Okay, since you've done that, that's became the norm. Now you have to embrace it when you don't and understand why. And also, you can't get out of your own, you got to get out of your own way as you're going through the successful times. When it's great, PBA, you're blowing people out. You're going to Northwestern, beating them by 20 or 30. You're able to turn it on and do all that stuff. Well, this right now is when it's about to get grimy. And you do have it in you.
You've shown you have. That's why
Sam has it in him, right? I know for a fact he does. He doesn't have to be boisterous about it.
No.
He won't back down from a challenge.
Hasn't yet.
And you're right. You don't need to do cheap stuff. But you know what? You come down the lane, I might have to just light you up. Just because. And if you want to get into that kind of like basketball shoving match, at some point in time, you have to do something that you don't really want to do while you're playing sports. Everybody does it and has to do it. It's time for them to do it. But then also they need to get back to what they do best, right? The flow of the offense, the timing of their cuts, the fundamentals, getting the good shots, the extra pass, the extra effort, taking advantage of situational basketball, and everything will be all right.
It's what Nick and I talked about a little bit yesterday, is that for all the big moments that Nebraska came through in early in the season, you think about the comeback against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You think about letting the
Kansas State,
Kansas State especially. You make the winning plays at the end. You think about Illinois. You go up on the road, Illinois fights back. You find a way to hit that big one. You find a way against Michigan State here at home for another marquee win. Things that went Nebraska's way in the first half of the season aren't going Nebraska's way now. Some of that is on Nebraska having to be better. Some of it's stuff outside their control, right? Other teams have figured you out. Okay, you took the counterpunch. Where's yours? Some of it, sure. Like we had people on the text line saying, is the reffing, right? Refs have to learn how to, call Nebraska games, understand what it is they're looking for, and it's absolutely a piece of the game. But Jay, I think it all comes together into Nebraska is still fine. Matt Norlander of CBS Sports and a bunch of other people are doing a mock kind of committee, NCAA tournament selection committee process kind of walkthrough today. They've done this the last couple of years just to, give media an insight to, hey, this is how the process works. They take them through the voting and everything like that. This is the media, right? This isn't the NCAA tournament actually putting this out there. But, for all the consternation, what's Nebraska going to do? How far down the seed line are they playing themselves? How much trouble are they in? According to the NCAA's number one metric they use to seed the NCAA tournament, the wins above bubble, Nebraska's at number 10. According to the media members that are going through this selection exercise, Nebraska's still a 3. Now, they're the last 3. They're number 12, just ahead of Gonzaga, Alabama, Arkansas, and Virginia there on that number 4 line. But for all the hand-wringing, for all the issues that Nebraska men's basketball have, they're still in really good shape. They can still, split the season series with Iowa. They can still go out and win on the road. They're still in position to get a double bye in the Big Ten tournament, which means you'd have to win 3 games against teams that you've either beaten, most likely, or felt like you could have, would have, should have beaten in some form or fashion. And again, it's going to be a big ask to win the Big Ten tournament, but Nebraska's fine. It's about time we see evidence that they're fine. And I think that starts with sending a message, like you said, against Penn State on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, the refs are a part of it, but that's every single game. They're going to call the games. You get scouting reports on the refs, so you got to understand what you're dealing with before you get off the bus and get into the arena. And then just where they're at, man. I mean, you made some plays. You're not going to make all these game-winning plays or kind of deciding plays all season long. You're going to go through lulls, right? And you got to understand that you're the same team that was, the highest number 5 or whatever than you are right now when you're number 10 or 12, right? And you're again, you have to have some sort of let's have some revisionist history. If you would have asked every single one of those players before the season if you would have got to this point with the potential and assumption that you're going to be a number 3 seed or higher, or just say even number 4 seed and higher, would you take it?
In a heartbeat.
Nebraska fans as well, administrators as well. So right now you're way ahead of the curve. Don't forget that. Yeah, it sucks right now because you went up to Iowa and you didn't play well. We'll give them a little bit of credit. They're desperate and their backs against the wall, so they had to defend home court. The great thing about it is you get right against Penn State, and eventually you get to see Iowa again at the crib.
Mm-hmm.
So when the people are looking at the Big Ten records and how you finish, they're going to be like, man, this team is actually really, really mature if you handle your business. You lost to Iowa at Iowa, beat the brakes off of Northwestern, and eventually you got your get back right. So whatever Iowa was able to do at Iowa is null and void because we got the last laugh.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you get the double bye, that's a legitimate, make you legitimate right there.
Yeah.
Like this team is for real. And you're getting kind of a little bit of an NCAA tournament for a team that hasn't been there that much and won. You get to deal with a little bit of the big dog where I'm coming in at, let's just say the worst case scenario is a number 4 or a number 3 seed.
Mm-hmm.
When you're rolling onto the court, the expectations are for you to win. And that's what you're going to get if you have a double bye in the Big Ten. And you're most likely going to get a favorable matchup, which then that would kind of get you prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got to understand you just got to handle this game come, Saturday. And that's the only thing that really matters.
Kind of feels like Nebraska was that pretty big snowball rolling down the hill. And then I don't know what happened. Someone, knocked it out of the way, hit a tree, and it blew up or whatever. There's still plenty of room for another snowball to start rolling down the hill, right? You got 5 regular season games left.
Yeah.
You got the Big Ten tournament. You got the NCAA tournament. But the snowball's got to start somewhere. You've seen the snowball roll down the hill. You've seen how fast it can go, how big it can get. Now do it again. And this is the exact kind of situation that I think this team can thrive in, because Nebraska's back is the furthest thing from against the wall. But Jay, that's where I'd like to see this team act and play like its back is against the wall.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Because like you said, you signed up for this in a heartbeat if you're a Husker fan. To be in this conversation, having this record at this point in the season, but you got to trick yourself a little bit, right? You're fine, but you got to find ways to act desperate in a healthy way. And I'm curious to see if this team can find that switch.
Yeah, I mean, and they can. It's in them. And you got to think there's 5 games left. And, really the only pressure that they have is internal.
Yeah.
The only real, I guess, spicy comments or thoughts are going to really come from around here because we've grown, go all the way back to last year. We've grown to seeing a certain type of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, you get a little bit of scar tissue with the offensive rebounds, the rebound and margin and all that, but you can handle that because you've handled it for the most part, over, last, season and a quarter, a little bit longer in a season and a quarter after that. So, the back against the wall mentality, but also some sort of have some reality where you're at too and embrace that and then deal with it and then make somebody pay for it. And this is it's a great opportunity because your basketball journey is different than majority of the teams that are, still playing.
Mm.
So you're playing with house money right now.
Yeah.
So since you're playing with essentially house money or free money, let's double down on it.
Sure.
Let's go make a calculated risk that no matter what the outcome is going to be positive for us.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are having some pressure built up, if you think you're playing tight, let it all go. Nebraska has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
What? Because, some dude's going to say, well, if Nebraska doesn't go to the Final Four, it's the worst team. See, that.
What a fraud.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Is the season even worth it?
Right. It wasn't even worth it.
Come on.
That's what you're jammed up about?
Thanks for moving the goalpost.
Like a little peon, right?
Right.
But Jay Billis thinks you're a heck of a team.
Mm-hmm.
He has a question mark about you, which is easy fixable. It's fixable. It'd be different if he said, you know what, they don't have enough skill.
Yeah.
Or they're not well enough coached.
They're smoke and mirrors.
Right.
All they're doing is winning close games.
Yeah, whatever it is. What he said, and you got to respect his opinion. He's been doing it for a long time. He was a great player himself and all that stuff.
At where?
Duke.
Thank you.
He had the shortest shorts out there, but he was Quadzilla though. I seen a couple. He was jacked up, dude, his opinion counts more than these little dudes over there. And once you start kind of like having that kind of focus, all that stuff goes to the side.
Yeah.
Because if you play too tight and it doesn't work out, or you go then and you don't play good, you get into the same result.
Sure.
So and then you can't learn anything,
Right.
Because the go-to is that person that said it.
Their fault.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Straight up.
Yeah.
Nebraska and Penn State coming up on Saturday. I'll be in the building for that one as the Huskers continue their push down the stretch. We got one final segment of Old School for hour 2, full hour 3, looking at the world of football, more Nebraska spring football talk, some NFL news as well. That's all ahead in the next 75 minutes.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking to get a room downtown or near South Lincoln? Abe Lincoln would tell you no to the Ford Theater and yes to Lincoln Hotel. Save up to 40% off downtown Lincoln prices with a nice clean room and comfortable stay. Lincoln Hotel is locally owned and offers a day pass to the city's largest locally owned gym, Good Life Fitness. Long-term stays are available. You can learn more about pricing and book your Lincoln Hotel stay today at staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565. That's staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Just got new tires put on my car today.
You did? I did see you leave the office.
I didn't need to. Graham Tire picked up my car this morning and dropped it back off and they were done.
You're kidding. How'd you get that kind of service?
That's just what they do at Graham Tire.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get ready, Lincoln. It's a huge weekend at the Icebox. The Lincoln Stars are back home Friday and Saturday taking on their conference rival Fargo Force in a critical push in the playoffs. Both nights enjoy $8 vodka Red Bulls while you cheer on the Stars as they battle for postseason positioning. Saturday's game is being presented by Eagle Raceway, so expect even more high-octane excitement. Puck drops at 7 o'clock on Friday and 6 o'clock on Saturday. Don't miss your chance to be part of the push for the playoff energy. Secure your seats now at LincolnStars.com and be there when it matters most.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen and Stein Stamina, and more. Bach beer will be flowing, and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $10 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Bring your crew, bring your school colors, and bring the noise. On February 22nd, Love Nebraska hosts Love Madison at Baxter Arena for College Night with first serve at 5 p.m. It's student energy meets big match intensity, diving saves, heavy swings, and rallies that refuse to end. Whether you're coming straight from campus or making it a full night out, this is your chance to see Nebraska's pros defend the home court. College Night, Madison in town, Sunday at 5. Lock in your seats now at lovbneb.com/tickets. Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Dio Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Dio Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diotech online at diotech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
With the snow falling, it's a good reminder that it's still indoor sports season right now. I know spring football is around the corner. We'll talk more about that. But if you want to stay warm and watch some sports indoors, check out Love Volleyball Nebraska. Back at home soon. Get your tickets online, lovbneb.com. Just a few days left to vote on a team nickname for that club. You can do that again, lovbneb.com. Jay, let's get to this from Cubs Grim. He's chimed in throughout the show. Appreciate that as always. He says, I hope we get some F the Hawkeyes chants going on March 8th and see how they like it, especially after Nebraska ends up winning. I think Nebraska fans, a little too classy to do what Iowa fans did to Price Sanford. Even if, I almost feel bad putting this out there, but let's say Braden Frager transferred to Iowa. I don't think Nebraska fans would be chanting that at him. I think Nebraska fans will be loud. I think they'll be fired up. I think they'll be rowdy. I don't foresee Nebraska fans going to the level that Iowa fans reached on Tuesday.
Probably not, but whenever there's opportunity to do so, why not? I mean, I know they're, getting after Price a little bit, but this is part of sports.
Price said he didn't hear it. Is it more true that he wasn't paying attention to it or that he didn't hear it?
Right. When you're out there playing, you don't hear much.
Mm-hmm.
But look, man, I mean, he's a good player. And they probably, wish they had him. And, the fans don't have any common sense that, maybe the new coach didn't want him. and maybe he just wanted to change the scenery. It's the way the thing goes. He wasn't the only one that left.
Right.
So Nebraska needs to return the favor.
Mm.
If I look at it like this, is like if you always got to be the bigger person, you're hanging around too small of people.
Hello. I like it.
Sometimes, I always say this, man. The most dangerous man or people or situation is people that just want to be left alone because you never know what's going on.
Mm.
And then once you find out, you wish you never did. And what I like this, Nebraska just wants to go play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they're probably, hopefully they're getting at the point where they're getting tired of like getting shoved or whatever. And then they need to be explosive when they when they return the favor.
It's that mess around and find out.
Yeah,
chart.
yeah. And you got to have the guy with the glasses that does it because he's the best one. Yeah. He does it. He actually he was doing it. I was like, man, is that a math problem? I know I didn't pay attention to math class.
Didn't get that study guide.
Yeah, I need to get that. There were no cliff notes for that one. So yeah, I think that Nebraska fans need to return the favor.
I'm here for it. Turn up the heat.
Turn it up.
To be fair, I think they did that against Wisconsin. Not in like that way, but
they booed Chucky.
They did. But I'm saying even this year, like that crowd was charged the heck up from the get-go.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, what it's going to be like against Iowa.
Well, we know where there's only so many hotels in Lincoln. Turn the lights off. No hot water. Wait for them right out when they coming out of the hotel.
You know where the bus drives in.
Yeah.
Stand on the pedestrian
bridge. We haven't
bridge.
seen you in a while. Welcome back to Lincoln. Hopefully it's a day like today.
Right?
Yeah.
Also, Jay, before we go to break, I think our guy Eric just actually said the nicest thing he's ever said to us.
What did he
Eric said, it hasn't been said. If it hasn't been said, stay off the roads. Good luck getting home, fellas.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Eric actually might care a little
Eric
bit.
He just got tough love. That's just Eric. that made me feel nice to Eric. Because Eric was worried
a little complimentary, a little worried about us.
What about us, man?
We'll text you when we get home, Dad. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll text you, Eric.
We'll let you know.
Yeah. Wait by the phone, Jack.
Westy says, bro, it is hell out here. Stay safe, please. Thank you for on your drive home, listening to 93.7 The Ticket. Because it's snowy, because you can take it slow, because we love you, we got a third hour of Old School.
We do.
No reason to hurry home.
We got some audio to talk about.
We do.
Or to listen to, compliment on. We got to listen to your text. Don't text and drive, especially today. It's debatable whether you voice text. But since we got another hour, it's probably going to take you that long to get from downtown Lincoln out to like east of Lincoln or whatever, southwest Lincoln. We'll take you along that way.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah.
It's okay. Seat warmers on, steering wheel warmers on, heat up. Take your time on the drive. Hour 3 of Old School's next.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's seafood season at Amigos. Time to get that one-of-a-kind, crisp crab rangoon burrito and dip it in some sweet chili sauce. There's a crab rangoon Frenchie, too. Enjoy grilled fish, grilled shrimp, or crispy fish tacos, wrapped in warm whole wheat tortillas, topped with pico de gallo, cabbage, and Amigos Chipotle mayo sauce. From jumbo shrimp baskets or fish and chips to fish tacos, there's something for everyone. You'll love the bold, fresh flavors of seafood at Amigos. Amigos is serving up a brand new way to score the bold, fresh flavors you love with 8 affordable value meals. At $5 and $6, these meals are easy on the wallet, so treat yourself anytime. Sink into the new 3-cheese melt or taco melt, both stacked with crave-worthy flavor in every bite. There's crunchy taquito dippers, too, perfect for dunking in Amigos' famous ranch or spicy cheese. Big flavor, small price. Value meals at Amigos.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Geoda Health is now open in Lincoln, bringing high-quality mental health care to the community. Located downtown near Lincoln Central Business District, This is Geode's first location in Nebraska and part of a growing national footprint. Now welcoming patients to work with Dr. Eric Curry, board-certified outpatient psychiatrist specializing in adult mental health care, including treatment for ADHD, anxiety, depression, mood disorders, medication management, and more. Geode is also growing in its Lincoln Care team, with opportunities for therapists interested in collaborative, patient-centered care. Appointments available now. Visit geodehealth.com. That's GEODE health.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and right now at Koppel, we are offering big discounts on all of our inventory. 2026 GMC Terrains are leasing at $279 per month or buy for $27,690. 2026 Canyon is leasing for $269 or buy for $40,980. Also right now, all new Equinox EVs and all half-ton trucks are starting at $12,000 off MSRP. These are just a few examples of some of the aggressive pricing going on right now at Koppel. Please stop on in or check us out at koppelcars.com. All leases with $2,500 down with a roof credit.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion, for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen and Stein Stamina, and more. Bach beer will be flowing, and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $10 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. Looking to get a room downtown or near South Lincoln? Abe Lincoln would tell you no to the Ford Theater and yes to Lincoln Hotel. Save up to 40% off downtown Lincoln prices with a nice clean room and comfortable stay. Lincoln Hotel is locally owned and offers a day pass to the city's largest locally owned gym, Good Life Fitness. Long-term stays are available. You can learn more about pricing and book your Lincoln Hotel stay today at staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565. That's staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts, answer the call one more time. And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Hour 3? Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School, the New School Way, brought to you by Graham Tire. We are live in effects on 1040 O Street, Snowmageddon. Second snow of the year coming down, sticky snow and slippery. Be safe out there, and hopefully we were able to navigate you on the way home safe and sound.
We'll try not to say anything crazy so you can keep it on the road.
Yeah, so we'll be very agreeable here for the next hour. We also want to give a big shout out to Graham Tire. Been around for 75 years. They do take care of you with all your tire needs. I can tell you personally, they do a really good job. But then also they can fix your car or truck, big or small, and get you back on the road. So Graham Tire, appreciate their support. Appreciate everybody else's support on the text line and calling in on Facebook, YouTube, and obviously on our text line. I appreciate it greatly. But kind of got off on a little bit of tangent when we were, going through the press conference and had both the coordinators talk today. So we're going to get through that this hour. We're going to play some more Matt Rhule audio, or we're going to go into the coordinators.
Whatever you want. I got some of each pulled up.
Well, I like defense.
You do.
Let's go with defense. Let's give my man Rob Orrick, because he's a new guy on the block. So,
he is.
Let's get him.
Let's see. Let's go. Rob Orrick, have you processed what it means to be the defensive coordinator at Nebraska? Here is Nebraska's new DC.
Yeah, to really try to keep the main thing. I'm here all day. Nobody treats me that well here, so everybody treats me like Rob. So I'm with the staff, and then I'm at home with my daughters and my son and my wife, and they don't treat me that well either. So it's I don't know if the enormity of the Rhule has been there. It's been a humbling experience, but we're excited to get to work, and we love the challenge. And one thing I'll say to your previous question about the different stops along the way is football's football. Football is football. And we believe in our process. We believe in what really good defenses look like from the way we execute. And we're going to try to live and drive our team to that standard.
We have that other one pulled up, the previous question about the other stops that Rob Orrick has made. What are the benefits of being at smaller schools in the past? Here's Rob Orrick.
Yeah, I think being at smaller schools, you get to see the development process of not necessarily having a roster that you handpicked or you drafted or anything like that, or you got the 5-star, 4-star. So you try to find unique ways for players with redeeming traits to help your team. And I think we're in a little bit of that situation here where we have a bunch of talented players. How do we get them to impact the team? And, watching our guys do it at Duluth and then taking over last year at San Diego State, it's not necessarily like you had a roster that was built for the 4-2-5, but how do we get someone to have a really impactful 12 to 18 plays a game if they're not necessarily the right fit? And so Coach Rhule, I think, has a really good eye for that. He's pointed out a few guys. We're workshopping that right now. There's a kid on our team named Vince Genatone, who was a running back last year, ran like 10-4, 10-5 coming out of high school. I think he can be a dynamic blitzer. I think he has some traits to be that big linebacker out there at the nickel position.
Yeah, it's interesting nugget. I think, when he talks about his stops, I think, essentially what I took it is, he's had to find a way, which I like from a coach's perspective. And maybe it's something that, remember when we go back to when Coach Rhule was talking about Coach Butler, would seem to be like an issue where Rob has done more with less, right? Because it wasn't maybe by choice, obviously,
right?
But it's by circumstances. And when you're a good coach, and not saying anybody's not a good coach, but when you're coaching, look, you got to coach the players that you got. You got to get the best out of them, and then you got to find a way to coach them within your scheme and within your mental makeup the best that you can for them all to be productive in your defense. And so when you come to Nebraska, obviously coming from San Diego State before, and obviously, essentially, one year, and, obviously had a really good year, had some really good players. We got 2 of them, and the other ones at Texas Tech and other guys end up other places, is that, this Nebraska roster isn't set like Ohio State, or Michigan, or Alabama, Georgia, whereas he has to look at every single player and find guys that maybe have to switch from offense to defense but have the traits that you need that can fit a role. So what I'm taking it is it as, obviously I think McDougal and Chambliss are going to play until they can't play anymore. They're going to play a majority of the snaps, right? Just because they're older players, are very productive. I'm sure they trust him. As long as they don't, get a big ego and kind of get out there and get lazy, they'll play, and some other guys as well. But what it tells me is when you're talking about Genatone and some other guys, and that they can find a role for you to where they can get enough snaps out of you that you could be a really good player in that role. That doesn't mean you'll be stuck in that role. But this year, where is it where you can get on the field? And we're going to use everybody on the roster, in theory, to get the best out of them for us to be the best team that we can be, offense, defense, or special team.
Yeah, they have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Not everyone walks on to the field, for the first time in college and is playing 50 snaps a game. That's kind of rare, unless you're either incredibly thin at that position or you're just that dude. Does Nebraska have that dude on the roster? We'll see. But on that front, Jay, Rob Orich was asked as well, how can his defense, the way that he runs it, help Nebraska's pass rush get going? That's always a factor. Here's what Rob Orich said regarding that.
We're going to find ways to dictate protection, determine the turn of the center, and create some matchups, whether that's getting to 5-0 or 5-0 protection or going 6 up to dictate the turn and isolate the running back. But really what your question asking, how do we generate productivity from that position? And I think you look at Coach Manning and what he did with our edges last year at San Diego State. I think there was 23 sacks in that room. And you look at his ability to develop a pass rusher and for them to really get comfortable on that arc of the pass rush when they're at the set point, the top of the rush, that they're really comfortable being productive there. And, I've been really impressed with his work from the past year. So I think it's a combination of we have to create the matchups we're looking for, but we also have to get these guys really comfortable being productive at those playmaking points.
I know you have something to go off of, Jay, but I think what's really important to me from that quote is Rob Orich didn't say, we're going to scheme up open lanes to the quarterback for our guys to tee up on.
Yeah.
Right? Just like big plays on offense, right, are usually a bust. Sacks like that, those, direct access plays are more of a bust than anything. I like that Rob Orich in that quote is putting some of the onus on his players to get better. If you're a good pass rusher or you have a matchup that we like to attack, we will get you that matchup.
You got to win.
That's what we can do. Go do your job and win.
Yeah, and I like it that, he's leaning on his coaches as well. With the stuff he's talking about, trying to dictate the turn of the center and protection, and that's everybody does that. You can't blitz all the time. But when you do blitz, you gotta make a point. When you do blitz, that means you gotta, blow some linemen up and then get some pressure at the feet of the quarterback to get him off his spot.
What is the point you're trying to make when you send a blitz?
Well, obviously to get a sack, but just because you're not getting a sack doesn't mean you stop. And the reason why is because if you can get the quarterback off his spot, you can get a secondary sack, from somebody else that's working hard. They get, 1 second is huge.
Yeah,
half
second effort plays.
Yeah, half a second is huge. And it allows your defensive backs, safeties, and linebackers to jump routes. Now, the reality of sacks are, and with Jason Peter or Grant Wishner here, they're 70-80% are just on effort. So increase the effort consistently 100% of the time, or 80% of the time, 100% of the time, or 80%, 100% of the time to get 80% of your sacks. You remedy that just on that alone. Then you can get exotic with it, but you got to have the back end tied into the front end. And he has experience. He's probably had to work with different body types. I've watched 4 games at San Diego State, different parts of the year. Watched a little bit of him also last year as well. So obviously, I think under his tutelage, they have a little bit more sound defense, or did this year. So they did some good things. I felt like they looked pretty disciplined. They definitely had guys to the ball, hats to the ball. So I think his standard is going to be fine. And they have enough guys potentially that can get to the quarterback, whether it's, Cam Linhart can really use some tutelage under Manning. Williams Nwaneri for sure can really, if they just look, this is the dude that you need to have in a 9 technique, and you tell him, go destroy the quarterback. Don't have him in there at a 3. Don't have him in there just if you want to mess around in a 5 every once in a while. but you want to put him in positions to where he can be most effective down in and down out. And then also he needs to do the work as well, which he's shown the ability to do so. So they have to come together. So they have some talent there, but you got to develop them. But then also the coaches only can do so much.
Yeah, Grilled Bear, we hope that answers your question a little bit there. You're a little concerned about the depth there on the defensive line. I think there's a bunch of names that we know, not a whole bunch of proven production. Jay, you mentioned McDougal before, right, coming with Orich from San Diego State. Owen Chambliss, the linebacker as well. Andrew Marshall was a guy that played for Orich when he was at Idaho. But then Coach Orich did mention, bringing Coach Manning along. And he was asked about, the process of, determining which coaches we wanted to keep as the defensive coordinator. But the other one was, how important was it to him to bring in coaches that he's worked with before? Here's what Rob Orich had to say on that front.
Yeah, well, spring ball is rapidly approaching, right? We start Saturday. And so with that timeline in mind, I know their work. I know their familiarity with our defense. And so, getting them here, I think it took a lot off, the plate of staff preparation. And I thought it expedited our ability to teach the players rather than teach the staff. And there's still some changes we've made over the past couple of years, but it's been awesome having those guys back. And what's been fun is, Corey and I were together 3 years ago or 4 years ago now, and Tyler about the same. They've grown since I've last seen them. They've brought in great ideas to the table about how we improve what we do. A few manipulations of some coverage and some stunt schemes, and getting back with them has kind of been like seeing the band back together a little bit. But it's been impressive how much they've grown in our time apart.
Yeah, I mean, you get that leeway as a coordinator, and that was a big question. You get to bring in the guys that you want. And, I'm a firm believer, when you do replace a coordinator like we did, that doesn't mean all the assistant coaches are bad coaches. So I think it's also, you got to give him credit. He kept some coaches that, that are pretty good coaches that makes sense. More or less, the biggest thing about coaching, you want to make sure that you hire the right people, right? That they know how to teach, they know how to motivate, know how to hold them accountable, and they're trustworthy as well. And that's what he's talking about. He trusts their work. He knows he has a big challenge ahead. I mean, look, he's coming from San Diego State. This is a big jump for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a challenge for him. So you got to say, okay, he's willing to make that challenge, and he accept that challenge. And so he needs people around him that know the language, knows what he wants, and they got to fast track it to communicate to the players, because all the players are waiting for that knowledge and they need it clearly.
Yeah.
Because there's 11 open spots over there. Marshall, sure. 11 open spots. They have to be improved on defense. He was hired here for a reason, and he feels comfortable with those guys. And it's they went to different places and they've all gotten better. And so as they come back together, he's still learning them, but the learning process is a little bit less. But it's I guess a normal. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if I was a coordinator and I had worked with some guys that I thought were good coaches that have improved and kind of worked on their craft as we've departed, and always had to want to kind of work with them again, I'd like the opportunity to hire at least 2 or 3 of them. And that's what he's been able to do.
I'll ask you this before we hear from Rob Orich. Over the next month or so, let's just say throughout spring ball, top 3 priorities for Nebraska on defense.
Well, I guess the standard of effort and physicality, and it has to be clear, and it's non-negotiable.
Enforced.
Yeah, but it's non-negotiable, though.
Yeah.
And then, you have to do it, but then you got to have good leadership that's going to enforce it, right? Or you got to, sometimes, put them in timeout. That's going to be number 1. Number 2 is setting the foundation of your defense, the identity of your defense. What's going to be the priority number 1? In the Big Ten, in college football, versus the pros, I've said this many times, you better stop the run and be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
That's got to be the priority number 1. And stopping the run isn't a first quarter thing. It's first, second, third, and fourth. Also come there with the reality is that you're not going to dominate probably Ohio State, Michigan, Iowa on the run game. But what you have to do is have a process to where you're playing winning football against the run.
Yeah.
In those big games. That's number 2. Number 3, probably be able to come out of spring with a good idea what your depth chart's at. Because when you go into summer workouts, you got to have some continuity there. You got plenty more time in 2 days and stuff like that. Because I think last year they almost practiced for a month where you play the competition to be set. But you want to be able to identify talent, develop talent, build that continuity, and move on.
Here's what Rob Orch had to say, his priority list for the next month for his defense.
Yeah. So we talk about like the tunnel of execution. Like there's a lot of things going around college football right now between portal and media and everything that's kind of taken the spotlight off college football. And we're focusing on the ball, and we need to execute at an elite level. We need to dial into our package and master our core concepts here through spring. And when I look at our defense there, I think the pieces are there. I think the talent's there. I don't think it's a question of the personnel. I think we have to execute and play the defense at a high level, and all our focus on how fast can we get our guys to execute at championship level.
Yeah, and you got to be able to communicate. I think that's one of the things, and you got to have guys invested, man. I think one of the biggest things that stick out to me is that the Penn State game where you had 8 mental errors. You got to have guys invested, and and the coaches could only do so much. I mean, I'm sure they got iPads, they got probably got every learning tool possible over there, right? Besides telepathy,
right?
But so look, but this is where you establish it, and you got to really get after it. It's got to be. Spring ball for this team this year different, and then it just cannot be. I don't want to say not fun, but it's got to be uncomfortable. And I think even in that process of it being uncomfortable, you still can learn. And there will be days where you struggle, but at the end of spring ball, you will make farther progress with it being very, very uncomfortable. And they got to have I remember with Buffalo, Houston, every team. These are our mainstay defenses. This is the purpose of it. This is our identity. We will not change. Everything that I just said will set up all the, I saw somebody talking about Seattle. I think it was Kyle Van Noy talking about Seattle and how Mike McDonald was very conservative against the Rams, but very aggressive. But then it was led by Witherspoon. And everybody saw how effective he was.
Yeah.
That's how you can get the Bufords and all those guys to be able to blitz off the corner and be very, very effective, because the continuity and the basis of it, you're still running the same coverages behind that blitz. You're still having the same line stunts, but just a different person coming off the edge or wherever they're coming. That's what they need to do, is really fast track the communication. But more importantly, the standard has to be raised up to another level. And you have to constantly remind them, because what you cannot do, I wouldn't say cannot do. I'm gonna say what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't just keep that Iowa or Penn State, Iowa, Utah games as just last year. I want to. We're doing well, okay, but I'm gonna keep pushing you guys. And they be like, man, why, man? We've say you have a good spring or whatever. Why not? Well, let's watch this. You remember how this felt? Yeah, I wasn't here, but I feel for you, though.
Coach, you watched this last week. I don't care. Watch it again. Feel it again.
Learn from it, because I wasn't here. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what you guys were feeling so we don't ever feel like that again. Okay. And it's not to demean you or anything, but it's also to kind of motivate you. You look, forgive yourself, but never forget. There's always that feeling. And it's not going to be on a consistent basis, but sometimes you got to really throw the cold water on them and kind of get them back in check to look at it. I mean, I'm sure Fred's looking at the same thing.
Right.
And also it's good for, I think they're, I don't know them all. I don't know any of the coaches, but, you can't be impulsive if, impulsive coaches are in general immature coaches.
Yeah.
And I don't get that sense. And what I mean by that is you don't want to have, even though it's uncomfortable, you don't want them playing in fear that if they make a mistake, they're on the milk carton.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's a process to go through, and that's what they have to do, is go through it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be grimy. You have the biggest hill to climb because the offense has they don't have their quarterback, but their coordinators, but he kind of has more pieces already. Offensive line's kind of be going. You got Hunter. You got, I guess, a couple running backs that have done everything. You get what I'm saying? So you're now you gotta accept that challenge and go forward.
And I think most importantly for people like me, we got a new phrase to hang our hat on.
What's
Tunnel of execution.
Who said that?
Orch did. Let me play it again.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Why is it not playing? There we go. Come on. This one.
Yeah. So we talk about like the tunnel of execution. Like there's a lot of things going around college football right now between portal and media and everything that's kind of taken the spotlight off college football, and we're focusing on the ball.
Tunnel of execution. Focus on the ball. But it's the same thing that has been said a million different ways before. But what's my job?
Yeah.
Study it constantly. Know what my job is better than anyone else. Know my teammates' job, what they're going to do. Understand why my job is what it is. You know, who cares about the transfer portal? I'm playing at Nebraska right now. Who cares about what bowl game we go to? We got Iowa coming up on Friday. It's stuff like that I hope those guys hear tunnel of execution until they're sick and tired of it, to the point they roll their eyes because like, oh, okay, yep, we knew coach was going to say that. You know, coach, you put tunnel of execution on film too much. We knew it was coming. But then actually take it to heart at the same time, where they're just hearing tunnel of execution and understanding that means, okay, what's my job and why is that my job?
And I think that's important. You know, we used to have excellence of execution and tunnel. I think the tunnel part is probably more important than the execution in the, I guess, the naming or whatever you call it, the tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Every day, having that tunnel vision when you walk into the facility, it's football all the time. It is football time. And, you got to really dig in and try to get after it. So that's the most important thing. So we'll take a quick break, come back, keep sending your text in if you can. Keep driving safe. We'll get to little Dana.
Yeah,
he had some interesting nuggets there about a position I used to play in high school and why they didn't recruit a quarterback out of the portal, so forth and so on. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking to get a room downtown or near South Lincoln? Abe Lincoln would tell you no to the Ford Theater and yes to Lincoln Hotel. Save up to 40% off downtown Lincoln prices with a nice clean room and comfortable stay. Lincoln Hotel is locally owned and offers a day pass to the city's largest locally owned gym, Good Life Fitness. Long-term stays are available. You can learn more about pricing and book your Lincoln Hotel stay today at staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565. That's staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565.
Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, cold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
Hey fellas, let's take a quick time out here. February is American Heart Month, and listen, men are the worst at getting checked out. We'll watch every stat in the league, but ignore the most important one. That's our own heart health. So here's the play. Talk to your doctor about scheduling a quick heart screening at Advanced Medical Imaging. It's fast, it's easy, and it could save your life. Your family needs you around a lot more than your fantasy team does. Make the call, get the checkup, take care of your heart at Advanced Medical Imaging.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of snow and blowing snow. Be windy and colder, a high of 41. Tonight, a chance of snow, any breeze, low around 18. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with a light breeze. National high near 33. I'm meteorologist Kyle Electric for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen and Stein Stamina, and more. Bach beer will be flowing, and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $10 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousenee.com for Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheartsville. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. Live in effect, 1040 O Street. A lot different than it was Monday, whenever it was 70 degrees. But hang in there, and warmer temps are coming. We'll battle through this snowstorm like we always do here in the great state of Nebraska and in the capital city of Lincoln. Want you guys to drive safe as well. But before the break, we said we'll get into some audio. We want your thoughts on the text if you can. Do not text and drive in these elements out here. But Coach Dana spoke about a lot of things. Quarterbacks, and then also the running back. So let's cue this thing up.
Here he is on the running backs. Are you concerned about the running back room at all? Here's Dana Holgerson.
Is it the fans or is it you guys?
Both. I think a little bit.
I think you guys are worse than assistant coaches when it comes to we just need to keep adding people. There's limitations on how many people you can have on your roster. There still is. And look, if you look at the running back room, Mekhi had a great bowl game. I mean, he did some things that Emmett can't do, and Emmett's going to be so mad that I said that. But he did. He like his first touchdown. I don't know if Emmett could have got there, But and we know everybody knows how I feel about Emmett. But Mekhi Mosey is an incredibly powerful freshman. He's going to get better and better. You got Quentin Ives. Everybody's mad about our short yardage run game, including me. He was 4 for 4 on short yardage third downs in the bowl game. He took a step in December. If he would have went the other way, we might have went out and got somebody, but he showed promise, Jamal Rhule, freshman, talented, probably runs better maybe than all of them. He just got here. Connor Booth is a scholarship kid. I mean, we have 6 guys, hopefully I didn't leave anybody out, but the point is you can't just, it gets to a point where if you add somebody, you got to get rid of somebody. And we're just at a point where we added what we can add and our roster is set and we're going to coach the heck out of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's, obviously it's a big area that's, I guess it has to be a concern because you don't have a proven, guy with a track record. You felt a little bit more comfortable going into the season last year with Emmett because you saw periodically during the season, and then you saw that last 4 games or whatever with Dana that you're like, all right, I can envision, you could project, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these guys that got spot duty, and then obviously the bowl game, but you got different body types and different talent types, and 1 or 2 of the guys really need to step up, and it's a great opportunity. Not many places in the Big Ten, especially at a blue blood program, if you're a running back, have this type of opportunity. If you jump out there and take hold of this running back competition, you might not get the same workload as Emmett, but you will be the guy, which will then set you up to potentially be at the workload and production of Emmett. Now, I do think that the offensive philosophy will change based on the quarterbacks that they have, and then also with the not established running backs, and then the skill position they have, and then more importantly, on paper, they feel a little bit more comfortable about the offensive line than they did last year. We shall see. And with the quarterback, I think they'll run it. I mean, I think when you think of Mekhi, you probably think of speed. He's able to he does have some short area quickness to make some guys miss. Now it's more of an off the field thing. Can he stay mature and stay focused to get what he wants? And then we think of Mosey, man. I mean, let me tell you something. The dude was a problem at receiver when he first came in. Too much depth. Went to running back and didn't look out of place. And in another full year in the weight room almost, and confidence and reps, he could be a guy that really leaps up there.
And please don't turn him into the Malcolm Hartzog of offense.
No. I don't think they will. I think he's found a nice little home for him. And you got Ives and all these other guys. They got an opportunity as well. You can start out as spot duty, if you want to call it, short yardage back, and then you get an opportunity to get in there in real time, and you don't come off the field. That's how Emmett did his thing.
It's the same thing that Orich was saying. How can you impact 12 or 18 plays on defense? For a running back, maybe you only face 3 third and shorts in a game, but if you convert all 3, hey, cool. Or maybe, this guy needed a break. This guy was getting checked out in the 10 or whatever. You're the running back on an abnormal situation. Can you pick up your check in pass protection? Do you make something out of nothing on second and 8 and get a first down that you weren't expecting? Whatever. Those situations pop up throughout the year. If whatever position you are, but specifically in this case, the running back, be ready for it. I think Dana Holgorsen did prove that he is willing to change his stripes a little bit, at least his head coach's request. And when the best player on your offense last year was pretty clearly Emmett Johnson, you find ways to get your best player the ball. Jay, I don't know if we know who the best player on Nebraska's offense is right now. I think Springball is a good case for any of those guys that Dan Holgorsen mentioned to stake their claim as, okay, maybe not have the Emmett Johnson expectations from the outside, but to be that we need something, this guy's going to go get it for us guy, it starts in spring ball.
Yeah, and you got to prove yourself. You got to work every day. You got to put in an honest day's work, and you got to be very productive. I think in a normal year, Emmett doesn't get that workload because that means you're playing better at the offensive line, quarterback, and skill position, as well. So you got to have realistic expectations. You got to, obviously be appreciative of what Emmett did, but then also be reality of I'm sure they're expecting their offense to be a little bit better and explosive and dynamic based on some of the personnel moves that they made. They heavily invested in them, right, in the portal. So then, therefore, the running back position, I wouldn't say it's a complementary position, but it's not going to be the lead dog position. That's going to be led in the quarterback room. And the running backs have to be more than complementary. They have to be extremely productive. The word for that is being very, very efficient, being very, very productive with the amount of carries that they got. And then when they get, over their normal work rate, they got to be super productive.
You mentioned quarterback. Let's hear from Dana Holgorsen on that, Jay. He was asked, how important is it that Calandria shows confidence right off the rip? What's Dana Holgorsen looking for there? Here's OC.
a lot, and that's contagious. That's contagious too. I mean, those guys want to compete, but then when they see him competing, like we did sprints out here after a short little install thing, and he competed as hard as anybody, just running the sprints. He's a ball player. We'll figure out what he likes and what he feels good, but it's just not solely on the quarterback. I mean, it's, what is our O-line good at? I think we're more athletic on the O-line now than we were a year ago. We were more powerful last year. We're more athletic now. That's going to play a part in it. How these backs progress was going to play a part on it. And do we have receivers that can get open and make plays downfield? All that plays a part in everything that's going to happen with what this offense looks like in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, look, Calandria's coming in. He's probably going to be out there with the first reps. I'm sure his contract was a little bit higher than TJ's and obviously Daniel Kalen. So he has to have confidence and your confidence can't be because the circumstances of how you got to Nebraska, right? Your confidence has to come from your work and obviously your production. That'll lead to players wanting to be led by you. So it's a big spring for him. It's a big step up for him. And then it's a big spring for TJ and Daniel Kalen as well. Because TJ's a true competitor. The weight room is got to be really, really huge for him. But then also production as well, because he has just as much as talent as Calandria, just doesn't have the experience.
Yeah.
But you can gain that experience or lessen the experience gap through your work a day in and day out, and obviously in the film room. And then when you get into the season, it's constant competition. So, I think the quarterback room would be interesting to see, how it all shakes out. But then how do they use them, I guess, in the spring game or any other time you're able to watch to play to their skill set? And I think that's probably what they're probably trying to figure out in the first week or two. But more importantly, it will shake itself out.
It will. We talked about this a lot after Minnesota, mostly on the defensive front, Jay. But one of Matt Rhule's comments that maybe we can get to tomorrow, but we'll start off with the Dana Holgorsen one. Matt Rhule said he wants his coordinators, and in this case specifically Dana Holgorsen, to call the game more fearless. What does Dana Holgorsen hear when, as head coach, says that? Here's Nebraska's OC.
Well, just having confidence in, the parts, who the people are, hopefully we've made some improvements. The quarterback room is, I know you guys are interested in talking about it, but just we'll start there. That's a confident room right now. It's a completely different room. But it's a confident room too. And you look at, it all starts with Anthony. We brought him here for a reason. He's Mountain West Player of the Year. He started at Virginia for 2 years. That's Power 4 football. So that kid's had 3 years of starting experience under his belt. That's going to show, and so it starts with him. But then you got Danny that started games at Virginia, and then obviously TJ, being able to have the 4-game stretch that he had. So those guys got experience, and they've got their feet wet, and they're absorbing a lot of information. It's been fun sitting in those rooms, and Coach Thomas does a great job with the mental component to it. I sat here in January and just went through all the cut-ups, and I know what I want to do, but I don't know what our team can do best yet. That just takes time, and I'm not a coordinator that has a specific system and we're going to run it. And if they can't do it, then too bad, so sad, so to speak. So we're going to figure out what we got and what we do good. And that's going to take time. So what it's going to look like, I'm not going to be able to answer that until fall camp probably, so, but have been excited about their work ethic, and man, they're eager for Saturday to get to work.
I don't know who spoke first, Jay, because I was on air at the time, but really interesting hearing that from Dana Holgorsen right after on this show. We heard it from Rob Borich, right? I'm not a coordinator with a set scheme, right? I'm going to, play to the strengths of the guys that I have, which I think on the one hand is good, but then you're left wondering, what's the identity? Is the identity that you are whatever you need to be? That's kind of hard to hold your, hang your hat on year after year. I don't know.
I think you want to know, and I'm sure you wanted to hear you probably wanted him to hear say, look, I know this is who we are, but that's not who we have to be. Because, I mean, Oric has only been a coordinator. Well, he's been a coordinator for a couple years, but obviously the big level 1 year. With Dana, that he's able to adjust his system because he's won and been productive with different type of players. He's had mobile quarterbacks. He had immobile quarterbacks. He had running backs. He had small running backs. He had water bug slots. He's had Stills, a receiver that was a taller, a little bit slower kind of, white guy. And then he's had Tank Dell down in Houston. I mean, so he's done it different ways. So you kind of, trust that, he's built up that equity there.
You bring him in to problem solve, not set a hard, fast rule.
But you also want to make sure, and that maybe, where you don't want to have your identity. Are we going to be a power running team that will be able to adjust and be able to be portable and throw it? And if you want to get in the shootout, we're that. Or are we just kind of a run the ball out of necessity unless we have a Emmett Johnson? So those are things internally that they probably either know and the fans are waiting on it. But I think the identity has to be, just number one, it's got to be physical, period. And it's every day. Even when you're not practicing, you've got to be physical. And physical is not just like running into somebody, knocking them over. Physical is being extremely physical, doing the basic stuff. Because that's what's going to win or lose your games. The running, blocking, tackling, the technique, the hand placement, all that. That's got to be the most important. He'll adjust his system based on who steps up or not. And if I'm a player and I hear that, well, I'm going to show you I can do everything. So I'm going to be out there anyways. So if guys listen, sometimes, coaches will give you some nuggets based on their press conferences and then allow you to adjust accordingly in a competition that's going to be thick at every single position group on the offensive side of the ball. Nobody, I mean, sure, you can hear in his voice, they brought Clandry here for a reason. He's probably going to have the first right of refusal to start. That doesn't mean it's a guarantee that he starts.
Right.
Because if TJ Lateef has been watching as much tape as he should have and could have, and he got in that weight room, you in for it. He can throw the deep ball just as good as you. He's probably faster than you. You're probably quicker than him in the run game.
Yeah. He's taller, bigger, looks more.
But you have way more experience. But experience gets nullified by consistently doing what you're beating out your opponent.
Yeah.
Because that's where the trust comes from. That's where you're able to galvanize the team. And don't forget, Daniel Kalen, sneaky good runner, started at Virginia as well, productive. They wanted him back. He just wanted to come home. You got 3 starters in there going at it. One guy that's got a ton of starting experience, 2 guys that are nipping at his heels. Is going to be really, really crucial here starting Saturday.
It really is. I think fearless is an interesting word for Matt Rhule to use regarding Dana Holgorsen as well. There's another quote that I want to spend more time on tomorrow. I think it can take a whole segment, so I'll save that. But isn't that kind of Dana Holgorsen's reputation, Jay? Riverboat Ron Rivera sort of thing, right? Not afraid to roll the dice, kind of wild child living out there on the edge. Has Dana Holgorsen been coaching the way he's comfortable? And that's kind of a lead into tomorrow. And then, can a quarterback like Anthony Calandria, who you're exactly right, he's one with different types of guys. But if Dana Holgorsen's reputation precedes him, that he does like to, roll the dice, let the chips fall where they may, whatever analogy you want to use, that's got to be your guy. Yeah. And if that's Calandria's strength, just let it rip, see what happens,
and
right?
Be okay with the output. Can you be okay with it? We're going to be diving into the offense deep. As I'm looking at it right now, we ain't even talked about Carter Nelson.
It's true.
We ain't even talked. Bro, it's your junior year now.
Show us something.
And you need the opportunity to. So, a lot to talk about, though. We're going to take a quick break, come back, put a bow on this snowy day down here in Lincoln. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's seafood season at Amigos. Time to get that one-of-a-kind, crisp crab rangoon burrito and dip it in some sweet chili sauce. There's a crab rangoon Frenchie, too. Enjoy grilled fish, grilled shrimp, or crispy fish tacos, wrapped in warm whole wheat tortillas, topped with pico de gallo, cabbage, and Amigos Chipotle mayo sauce. From jumbo shrimp baskets or fish and chips to fish tacos, there's something for everyone. You'll love the bold, fresh flavors of seafood at Amigos. Amigos is serving up a brand new way to score the bold, fresh flavors you love with 8 affordable value meals. At $5 and $6, these meals are easy on the wallet, so treat yourself anytime. Sink into the new 3-cheese melt or taco melt, both stacked with crave-worthy flavor in every bite. There's crunchy taquito dippers, too. Perfect for dunking in Amigos' famous ranch or spicy cheese. Big flavor, small price. Value meals at Amigos.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC. And right now at Coppell, we are offering big discounts on all of our inventory. 2026 GMC Terrains are leasing at $279 per month or buy for $27,690. 2026 Canyons leasing for $269 or buy for $40,980. Also right now, all new Equinox EVs and all half-ton trucks are starting at $12,000 off MSRP. These are just a few examples of some of the aggressive pricing going on right now at Coppell. Please stop on in or check us out at CoppellCars.com. All these with $2,500 down with a roof credit.
Bring your crew, bring your school colors, and bring the noise. On February 22nd, Love Nebraska hosts Love Madison at Baxter Arena for College Night with first serve at 5 p.m. It's student energy meets big match intensity, diving saves, heavy swings, and rallies that refuse to end. Whether you're coming straight from campus or making it a full night out, this is your chance to see Nebraska's pros defend the home court. College Night, Madison in town, Sunday at 5. Lock in your seats now at lovbneb.com/tickets.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Hey fellas, let's take a quick time out here. February is American Heart Month, and listen, men are the worst at getting checked out. We'll watch every stat in the league, but ignore the most important one. That's our own heart health. So here's the play. Talk to your doctor about scheduling a quick heart screening at Advanced Medical Imaging. It's fast, it's easy, and it could save your life. Your family needs you around a lot more than your fantasy team does. Make the call, get the checkup, take care of your heart at Advanced Medical Imaging.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman? Put a bow on this Thursday, snowy Thursday, on this thirsty Thursday. Big shout out to Kevin Meyer, Cork and Bottle. Brought in some, his last choices, the last 3 weeks, their last 3 times been on and popping.
Oh, yeah.
Fit the theme, but then also been really tasty. So stop over there, Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South. You can't miss it. The sign is, oh, look at that. 4-wheeler, snowmobile, snow shovel. I like that. The sign is out there popping. They are out, and it's a great night to have a little bit of a libation, maybe some wine, and solve the world's problems before you either have to snow or you put it off till tomorrow. But we're going to dive into a little spring preview of the offense and defense tomorrow, player by player, position by position. So make sure you guys text in with your thoughts and questions about that. But, Austin, we have some breaking news out of the NCAA.
Hello.
You remember him, Jaden Rashada.
Yes.
Sued. Well, he was a highly rated quarterback, committed to Florida. Florida promised him $13.5 million in NIL money. He flew all the way out there, got there, and they were like, oh, we were just joking. They did release him, but his college career has been nullified or it's been affected greatly because of that. Because then he was late to find a place to go, which was Arizona State, and he's bounced around. That lawsuit, again, he sued Florida, Florida's NIL, which is now defunct, or at least that one is, and Billy Napier at that time.
And
who else?
Marcus Castro Walker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, they used to call him D'Angelo with the braids. Scott Frost with the braids because you wear the shades at night. So he sued him as well, and they settled. So the young man probably had a positive outcome. Congratulations to him, because I will say this, even though maybe some of the stuff that they were telling was unrealistic, and maybe they didn't have the money, or they just felt like he wasn't that good of a player by the time he got there. But his decision was based not solely, but majority on that, and they hurt his future earnings by doing that, because you never really got to get out of the starting blocks.
Right.
Whether it was there and redshirted, and then you go from somewhere else, you were trying to find a spot at the 23rd hour, and from then on, you lost value, because you weren't able to be productive. You weren't able to be coached, so then you weren't able to be productive. But then also, you had a little bit of a black cloud around your name.
The reputation.
And it had nothing to do with you. It was all them. So congratulations to him. Appreciate you guys listening. Got ticket listeners saying what's up. Right, look, got the window out there. Drive safe. Take your time. Don't text and drive. Give plenty of space, and get home safe and sound. But we will talk to you tomorrow. Jay Foreman, for my main man, Austin Orman. Old School, we'll holler at you tomorrow.